Yeah, show him I can still rap though.
Now I'm in the game, I was on the bench. First I was renting, now I'm collecting rent. Run it up. First it with the Beamer, now I want the Benz. Spending all the bag like here I go again. Outside says chirp, now the camera phone. Told you I'ma make, keep the channels on. Why you acting different when the camera's on? Why you acting different like your paper long? 8 day wake up and I thank God. Bad decision got you wishing you could say nah. My city gritty, you could get hit any day now. On my mama, I'ma move my friendly way out. With some 20s, 50s, hundreds, thousands, millions, billions, trillions, zillions. I'm talking Amazon money, talking so much money I could mess around and buy Amazon. I been winning, I'm like, why me? I heard these labels wanna buy me. I don't need you, boo, I style me. I roll G's and they grind me. Now I'm on my game, nothing is the same. Who am I to blame? Money made me change. Cardi in my ring when I'm switching lanes. Money in the carry on them Boeing planes. Money in the carry on them Boeing planes. Now I got a buck for all those rainy days. Ain't have a day off in like 80 days. I got hustles in like 80 ways. Kids if he won't take a lazy day. Wifey on me told me take a break. I keep going to the paper street. Then it's trips out to Montego Bay. If I take the job, bet I get it done. I said it before, I'm a one-on-one. I just caught some ones, only wearing ones. Fornicate the funds, money made me calm. Diamonds on your neck, bet they on your neck. You want that watch, you better rock a tech. You want that chain, you better cop a vest. You want the check, but can you make it stretch? Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck, country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold-hearted, now I'm back up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just take the money and go stack up. Only buying car to get tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault. I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up. Add it up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up.
Yeah, show him I can still rap though.
Now I'm in the game, I was on the bench. First I was renting, now I'm collecting rent. First it with the Beamer, now I want the Benz. Spending all the bag like here I go again. Outside says chirp, now the camera phone. Told you I'ma make, keep the channels on. Why you acting different when the camera's on? Why you acting different like your paper long? 8 day wake up and I thank God. Bad decision got you wishing you could say nah. My city gritty, you could get hit any day now. On my mama, I'ma move my friendly way out. With some 20s, 50s, hundreds, thousands, millions, billions, trillions, zillions. I'm talking Amazon money, talking so much money I could mess around and buy Amazon. I been winning, I'm like, why me? I heard these labels wanna buy me. I don't need you, boo, I style me. I roll G's and they grind me. Now I'm on my game, nothing is the same. Who am I to blame? Money made me change. Cardi in my ring when I'm switching lanes. Money in the carry on them Boeing planes. Money in the carry on them Boeing planes. Now I got a buck for all those rainy days. Ain't have a day off in like 80 days. I got hustles in like 80 ways. kids if he won't take a lazy day. Wifey on me, told me take a break. I keep going to the paper straight. Then it's trips out to Montego Bay. If I take the job, bet I get it done. I said it before, I'm a 101. I just caught some ones, only wearing ones. Fornicate the funds, money made me calm. Diamonds on your neck, bet they on your neck. You want that watch, you better rock a tech. You want that chain, you better cop a vest. You want the check, but can you make it stretch? Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what? Told ya I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck, country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold-hearted, now I'm back up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just take the money and go stack up. Only buying car to get tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault. I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what? Told ya I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what? Told ya I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up.
Yeah, show him I can still rap though.
Now I'm in the game, I was on the bench. First I was renting, now I'm collecting rent. Run it up. First it with the Beamer, now I want the Benz. Spending all the bag like here I go again. Outside says the chirp, now the camera phone. Told you I'ma make, keep the channels on. Why you acting different when the camera's on? Why you acting different like your paper long? 8 day wake up and I thank God. Bad decision got you wishing you could say nah. My city gritty, you could get hit any day now. On my mama, I'ma move my family way out. With some 20s, 50s, hundreds, thousands, millions, billions, trillions, zillions. I'm talking Amazon money, talking so much money I could mess around and buy Amazon. I been winning, I'm like, why me? I heard these labels wanna buy me. I don't need you in the air, pure gasoline. I see the news, see what you read. Change gotta come, put that on me and watch me educate. Yeah, we been, could've started, but it's never late. Do it for my kids, yeah, let's set it straight. Do it for your kids, gotta set it straight. It's time to regulate. We need change now. We need solar, we need EV in the game now. Make it changes so the earth we know can stay around. Make it changes cause we had no time for playing around. Let's quit the playing around. First rule to me, let's keep it clean. Watch how we build, clean air we need. Stuff on the floor, sweep up the scene. We going green, work as a team. First rule to me, let's keep it clean. Watch how we build, clean air we need. Stuff on the floor, sweep up the scene. We going green, we going green.
Yeah. What is going on, people? It must be Thursday. It must be Thursday because we are live right now. It is the next podcast. What is going on, chat? So good to see everybody. Yo, Troyski is in early. I think he did it last week too, man. He just wants those epic episodes, man. So he's coming in early to guarantee the epic nature of the episode. What's going on, Troy? What is up, Mizzle? Mizzle, I feel like it's been forever, bro. And of course, Chipmunk is here. What is up, bro? It's good to see you guys. We got a lot to talk about tonight, man. We got a lot to talk about. We're gonna start with a publisher talking about a game that came out, and we're gonna go into. I really want to ask this question, and chat, think about this as well, because I want to see the comments in the chat. But now that basically I know they extended the date, but that doesn't mean shit right now. Let's be real. The whole ABK deal is gonna go through. All right. I want to ask what's next though. What's next? Because throughout the court, man, we heard so many cool things. I know at least one thing that I have really wanted. So we're gonna dive into that as well. So get comfortable, guys. Get ready. Really quick intros tonight. Right now, I have my brother from another mother, the man who has been here from the beginning, and somehow, some way, he can still stand me. I don't know how he does it, but of course it is K Mega. Yo, Mega, what's going on, bro?
And it is getting mighty thin by
Really?
the hour.
Really?
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, yeah, but just about an hour. Yeah, I mean, it came from all love to about a year. Then it turned down to the, quarter, to the month, then to the week, then to the day, and now we're in the hour. We're in the final hour. So it's coming. It's coming.
dude, yo, hold on.
This track is coming.
If I didn't get it that one night I called you at like 2 o'clock in the morning, freaking out. If I didn't get it then, man, I think I might be immune. I don't think I'm gonna get it at all, bro. I really.
Yeah, you might not. You might not. I still want my $36 in nickels and dimes. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I want what's owed to me, sucker. Anyway, but yeah, no, good to be here. Let's go ahead and do it. I'm a little bit under the weather. I was going to do my thoughts video today, but I'll probably try to do it this weekend. And you know what I'm saying? If Ham and them can join me, that'd be great. If not, then it'll be all right. But yeah, no, this cold has been lingering.
I was gonna ask what's wrong.
Yeah, no, just a sinus. It's just like a sinus infection thing that's going on.
Sinus infection / cold in the middle of summer, dude. I feel for you, bro. I feel for you, bro.
Yeah, it's nasty, but I'm good. You know what I'm saying? You know, try to be a professional at all times. Come and do the work and have fun talking about the games, man. I'm working for free, ladies and gentlemen. Working for free. Get them super chats ready.
Get them ready, people.
For GRG, not
for
that.
Oh, that was a curve, man. So I guess I just endorsed your super chats for GRG. Then is what I just did. Inadvertently.
Yes.
Inadvertently,
yes.
I may add, man.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
But now I will say, guys, Dark Optimus will be here within like about a half hour or so. He was working. He said he was busy, man, but he is rushing home right now to get here. Now, for the other member, a Mr. Predator out there, Mr. OnlyFans. Guys, he is out there in Vegas right now. I will let you know specifically why he is there. He is literally spending his life savings on one-legged hookers. I don't know. It's a thing with him. I don't know why. It's something about spinning or rotation or something like that. But he is spending his life savings right now on one-legged hookers.
Well, hold on. I just got some new news. Some updating news.
Oh.
Okay. Pred has just been found. He has been found at a Walmart out there in Vegas with a woman that is nude and rubbing herself with cake. And Fred put a towel over her and took her with him. I do not know what this going on. I know I seen that woman on the internet, but Fred he's going wild, ladies and gentlemen. If he, you know what I'm saying, he's looking for one-legged women of the night.
Yes.
And now taking women that likes to get butt ass naked and get and rub cake on her body. So I guess he likes them. I guess he thinking she's sweet. I don't know, but let's go. Shout out to Fred, man. Enjoy. What goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas.
I gotta ask ask what the flavor of the cake is though, man. Like,
oh, she grabbed all types of cakes and cupcakes and donuts, and she just was rubbing it all over her body in the Walmarts. And so, Pred just wanted to save the day. I guess he just wanted to be a gentleman. It is. It's all good.
Yo, brother, we got Mr. Fahim Scott is with us right now, man. We didn't see him last week.
Oh yeah, he's feeling good right now. He's seen the Spider-Man trailer. They might be feeling themselves. And
we're going to talk about. You know what? We're going to talk about that as well, man. We definitely got to talk about that. But I do want to start. I want to start with Final Fantasy and Square Enix. All right. Let's go. Now, Square Enix came out. For people who might have been living under a rock, or maybe if you're not a part of the gaming community, I want to let you know something about Square Enix. Within recent history, no matter what game came out, it felt like to me, if it wasn't the eastern side of Square Enix, they were never happy with sales. And we look at what they did. They basically trimmed off all their developers, or all their quote-unquote Western developers that they had making games that they would publish. Games like Tomb Raider, which is absolutely awesome trilogy that they did, right? They were never happy with it. They said it didn't sell well, stuff like that. Now, talking about Final Fantasy 16, they came out today and stated that the sales were quote unquote strong, telling people that they have to realize the fact that the previous games that they were putting out, there was a bigger fan base there with PS4. Like, there was a lot more people that had PS4s in their house at that point in time. It was later on in that generation, all that good stuff. So they're saying that Final Fantasy 16 sales are strong. You know how I don't give a shit about sales, but seeing certain characteristics, man. K-Mega, I gotta ask you, how you feel about them coming out and saying this? Like, I feel a little weird about it because they came out with quality games before, and it just felt like, for some rhyme or reason, as a publisher, they were hating on them as if they didn't even want to make them at a certain point in time, which is really weird to me. Now we see those studios are gone. What do you think about this news, man? I feel like Square Enix might have actually wised up a little bit and decided that they weren't gonna throw every single game, you know what I'm saying, into the mud and say, because that just makes it worse for the game to even try to make a turnaround. If you have the creator and publisher of the game saying, sales weren't good and this and that or whatever, I don't see how that would get anybody to be like, you know what, I gotta go pick that up. And I think they finally realized that their negative talk out there on social media might actually hurt their sales moving after they say what they say and moving into the future. I don't know. I feel like they might have learned something. But Mega, what do you think about what they came out and said here? And do you see what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they just raked so many games through the mud within recent history for games that they dropped. Like, they hurt themselves, man.
No, they did. And you're absolutely right. I mean, it was going to be pretty much the same thing that I was going to say, was that the negative talk is not forcing people to get out and go purchase those games. Matter of fact, it seems like it has the opposite. And I think now trying to be positive about the situation is, of course, for the blind, the people that's just going to walk blind. They're not going to care what's said. They're going to still tout and glorify whatever. But from people just being logical about the situation, it's better to be positive about the situation instead of being negative, because if you think about it, all the Final Fantasies going from Final Fantasy 15 down, they haven't sold as much as Final Fantasy 15. Final Fantasy 7 Remake didn't catch up to Final Fantasy 15. The biggest excuse from people that's defending the fact, well, it's only on one platform, is this, that, the third, right? But and then they tried to come and count all the, they counted PC, Xbox numbers, and then PlayStation's numbers on top of that, and then saying, well, look at those, and just to try to make the point of saying, look, well, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it was a multi-plat. Still, Final Fantasy VII Remake, now Final Fantasy 16, has not caught up to Final Fantasy 15, and now Final Fantasy 16 has not caught up to Final Fantasy Remake. One sold in a week, sold over 5 million. One is now at 3 million, and usually around this time, usually around these games, they got a 90-day shelf life. The way that this year is rolling with so many great titles that's coming out, or just titles that it has a lot of interest, it might be just a couple of weeks to a month at the max that people will look at this game and say this, and then just move on and say, well, I'll just wait for a sale. So, and that's what Square Enix doesn't want to happen, is that game to go to a sale. But if you remember, I don't know if you know, but I'm pretty sure some people in the chat will remember that Square Enix was, I believe it was their director that came out and said, look, the sales are not as positive as we want them to be. So therefore we would, we don't want to put this game on sale yet. So there you go. So now they're changing and flipping it around and saying, well, no. I mean, if we look at the numbers, it's 38 million PlayStations out there, and then you look at the 3 million mark, it's really positive. Whatever the case may be, it's still less than the previous Final Fantasy game. And I think also, and this is what's kind of confusing, because there's people out there, and you know what? Final Fantasy is kind of going through a Halo situation, where the purists wants kind of like the old school type of Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy Remake.
Yo, Mega.
Final Fantasy. Yeah, go ahead.
Can I be real with you? This is going to be an unpopular opinion. I think there's going to be some people in the chat that don't like what I'm saying here.
Yeah.
But guys, you got to remember, I lived through Final Fantasy, right? Mm-hmm. I lived through it. It's like the first couple in Nintendo. Like, I lived through Final Fantasy 7, all that good stuff when it first came out. Mega, am I smoking some of that funny stuff or something, or does Final Fantasy not grab as big of an audience as it used to, bro?
No, it doesn't. And that's just,
nobody's gonna like us saying that. Nobody's gonna like us saying that, man.
It's the truth. I mean, right now, when you look at a game like Persona, which was at a particular time when Persona 5 first dropped, it was a niche franchise. It didn't even sell over 6 to 7 million copies a lifetime. And Final Fantasy, not Final Fantasy, but Persona, before that, SMT. Which is where that's Persona is a spinoff of SMT. That, those games has been around ever since like the PlayStation 1, maybe even going back to like the Nintendo. Now I don't remember if they were on Nintendo, but I do know that they the first game that I played was on the PlayStation 1 of SMT. So so look, that it's very niche, but now since Persona 5 is kind of just taken off, I mean, and that's not to say that just saying that it was niche that they were bad games. They weren't, never were. The fact of it was, it just didn't grasp because Final Fantasy was that juggernaut. It was the king of the JRPGs. It's still, if you want to talk about overall history and numbers, yeah, there's nothing that's touching Final Fantasy, but Persona is now taking that spot of being that game. You see what I'm saying? Like it's becoming beloved. Well, and what's crazy is that it's traditionally old school turn-based and people still love it, while Final Fantasy is feeling like it's making a change, which if they feel that that's what they need to do to try to grasp more gamers, then that's fine. But the point I was trying to make beforehand is about the purists. There's kind of like a divide. That's why I was saying there was a similarity like Halo's, because there's still people that wants that turn-based, and then there's other people that's kind of digging the action-oriented type of style. So maybe in a sense that Square Enix is trying to be positive, not because they also because they want people to try to jump in and that would give better ammunition for people to just go and get it now, because that it's still popular. I mean, 3 million sales in a week is still really good for a game. But I think that they're also trying to say, look, I think we're going to stick with this and go this route, because it might be better for the franchise while now we're seeing the competition like Persona that's doing it traditionally kind of taking that spot over. So they're in a weird position, because I mean, Final Fantasy, nobody can be on top forever, but I mean, I just think that like it's just not gravitating. Final Fantasy as a franchise is just not gravitating like it used to. And I agree with you when you said that.
Yeah, like and it's funny because you bring up Persona, and I feel like Persona has fitted itself like into that area. You know what I'm saying? That we saw Final Fantasy in like growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like Persona is there. These games, they take a long time to really unfold their story. There's a lot of grind in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to extra long, man. I remember Final Fantasy VII. I couldn't wait to leave the city, like and it took forever to do so. And I feel like that Persona has kind of put itself in that place. Now, a lot of hard work from the developers for Persona, and you said that was a spinoff from a previous game.
SMT, Shimmy Thompson. Yeah, I'm not going to try to say it. I'll butcher it.
Nah, I got you.
Shimmy Gami Tensei, whatever you pronounce it. But yeah, that just SMT. That was the original, and Persona is the spinoff to that. And then even also Soul Hackers. Soul Hackers is a spinoff of SMT and Persona as well.
Oh, really? I did not know that. I didn't know that, man. But you see all the work that they put in. Can you imagine, dude? Can you imagine if the developer and Sega, like whenever they released a Persona, they're like, man, we're just not happy with the sales every time, Like every time. What do you think would happen to that franchise, bro?
No, I mean, just look at how everything has gotten. Like, I mean, I think. All the Tomb Raiders, because even they've done it, is decreased since that trilogy came out. I think the peak was the first Tomb Raider, the remake, and then it was Rise of the Tomb Raider, and then it was Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which I enjoyed the first Tomb Raider and then the last Tomb Raider the best over Rise of the Tomb Raider. But sales-wise, Shadow of the Tomb Raider was the least selling. And that could be one of those reasons, because the Square Enix keeps saying that, well, the game just is not performing like we like. It's this and that. And I mean, look at a game like and everybody touts how good the Guardians of the Galaxy game is. Everybody, so much so that people made me buy it, because there was not one person that said anything bad. But when you keep hearing, well, we didn't perform well, we didn't, our games that we produced didn't do this. Like I bought Dial Field, right? That game is not bad at all. But the fact of it is, I don't think that most of Square's games aren't bad. It's just the fact that I think when you keep hearing the same narrative over and over again, because they're trying to force people to buy those games, that old ideology is over and done. They need to be more positive, and I think that for a result of doing that, I think that they will they'll do better with that now. But let's not get it twisted, because when those yearlies come in, we'll see the real Square Enix. You see what I'm saying? Like if they come out and they're and Final Fantasy is the only game that really hit the numbers that they wanted to, or so-called projected, then they'll get back to showing their true face again, talking about that we underperformed and all that garbage, I'm sure.
And the thing about it is, it's not just Square that is depending on Final Fantasy 16 to like be strong for a while. I mean, Sony themselves are expecting that game to be strong for a while, because I mean, when it comes to their first party, what we're basically waiting on one game from them, right? Spider-Man 2, and that's it. So
and so that's another thing too, is that it was just like what I said in the beginning, is that this is a wild year, and next year is going to be just as wild as well.
Next year going to be crazier, bro.
It's going to be crazier next year. So this year, it's like, normally a game could go and make it for 90 days, and then you can kind of get a barometer of where that game is going to be before it kind of falls off. Not this year. It's back to back to back to back to back. And it didn't also help that Diablo came out, Street Fighter came out, and then whatever else that was available in between that caught people's interest over Final Fantasy. I mean, let's just keep it, 100%. Diablo is a much bigger franchise in the sense of gamers today than Final Fantasy is. That's crazy to say if you would think about this 10, 15, 20 years ago. But now, it's...
You know why I think that is? Do you know why I think that is? Like, I hear you, and I think I know why. I think it's because Diablo basically evolved from the PC world. You know what I'm saying? Right. They automatically have a huge, player base there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you can grab the PC market, if you can get them interested in your game, you can sell an absolute ton over there. Yeah, even with people who pirate and stuff like that, when you look at the averages though, you can still sell a shitload in the PC market. So having that bigger player base, I think that was great for Diablo, kind of moving itself forward. Yo, you look at StarCraft, Warcraft, all games that kind of were centered on the PC, got their success on the PC first. Their player bases are astronomical, man.
It is, and look, and I don't want to try to take anything away from Final Fantasy. I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan, not particularly of 16 myself, but I'm a Final Fantasy fan. I love Final Fantasy, so it's for me, it's like I think it's personal. I think personally, it is the changing of the genre of the role playing, the turn based, to now being fully all action with just RPG elements. It just rubs some players the wrong way. I mean, I'll look and read the stuff in the Reddit pages on the Final Fantasy groups, and I don't get into the PlayStation groups or nothing, but the Final Fantasy groups. I mean, there's a lot of people, and that's what I was saying. It reminded me so much about Halo, about those changes, and I am all about, if you want to change your franchise to make it work for today's times, then just do it and don't worry and don't look back. And I think that's what they're doing, because slowly but surely they did it with 15. They did it with remake. They're going to do it with the next with the other remake that's coming out next year. And now they just went all out with 16. That's just, I think that slowly but surely, I think the Final Fantasy fans that love Final Fantasy, love the lore, love that whole fantasy aspect of it, they'll come back. It's just that right now it's just going to take a little time. But that people will all, I think, agree to is that what hurts this franchise overall is the fact that they are still just keeping themselves exclusive to one platform. They need to expand that. They need to just open it up and let it be on everything again.
Well,
you bots just got excuse after excuse after excuse.
And it's going to be funny because you're going to agree with me. You're going to agree with me. Come on now. Come on, Stan.
Real quick, before I announce that strange voice, real quick, I got to give a shout out. I got to give a very, very special shout out to my bro, Dragonheart Yobi. Yo, bro, what are you doing? Dude, what are you doing hitting the super chat on your birthday, bro? Right. That I don't even know, man. But shout out to you, man. Yo, thank you for the support, brother. Yo, everybody in the chat, it is Dragonheart's birthday today. I want to see some happy birthdays going on in the chat. Also on Twitter, man. Yo, hashtag happy birthday to Dragonheart Yobi. Many more to come, brother. Many more to come. But as I said earlier, beginning of the show, he was going to come in, and he is here straight from the West Coast. The Angry Otter himself, Dark Optimus. Yo, Dark, what's going on, bro?
Not much, man. Been busy. This writer and actor strike has been a handful. Luckily, we're non-union, but some of our union guys who were, with us before, they're like coming to us and being like, "Hey, I need work." So, they're coming to us and trying to get some work done. So we're trying to work things around and try to get them to have some money in their pocket while the big wigs that don't do shit try to figure it out.
I got you. Well, the money
Yeah.
pushers, the money pushers over
Yeah,
there.
yeah, the money pushers, the ones who don't do crap, they just give
one-
money and
The ones who push the money away from anybody doing any
And
work.
that's why they got to say so.
Absolutely.
That's why I don't have to do shit. 'Cause they got the money.
Because they got the money.
They
That's
got the
right.
money.
Well, yo, Dark, check it out. We were talking about Square Enix. They came out
Yeah.
and they stated that sales are strong when it comes to Final Fantasy
Mm-hmm.
16. I think it's a little. It definitely goes against the routine of what they've done over recent history, the last few years. Whenever they came out with a game, after a while, it's like, well, it didn't sell well. It didn't sell well. Me and K Mega were talking. We're like, dude, how do you expect to make the game sell well if you come out and you're like, yeah, no, sales suck. Like you're not getting anybody to want to buy your game when you're like, yeah, that shit's not selling. You know what I'm saying? But what were your takes from the whole Square Enix, how they came out? They say the sales are strong. They did talk about their games that they released earlier. They had a bigger fan base with PS4. More people with PS4 stuff like that. But what if any was there anything that you got from what they said today?
Not really. I mean, it was just a lot of, they've done that with pretty much almost every Final Fantasy, where they're like, yeah, we sold well, but the other ones, like their Western development that they sold off, they've always said that, like, oh, we don't sell well on those games. And
But they were
I don't
quality. They were
understand
good games, though.
I know, and I don't understand it. So I don't get how those games didn't.
They just don't like the
well
West,
unless-
bro. They don't like the West.
Unless it was more like along the lines of like they didn't sell well because they put too much money into those games, possibly. But I mean, I look at Final Fantasy 16 and I'm thinking to myself, they put a ton of money into that game.
And it's not like do you know in terms of like say similar lifespan, similar kind of like release, like it's still behind 15, right?
I mean, at this moment, yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm
For
talking
something
in
like
the
that.
same in the same span.
I think
Well,
the
yeah,
best
well, for
projection, the best projection should be remake, because remake was an
Listen, you
exclusive.
had your time, sir.
No,
Okay,
I was just
you had
saying, yeah, I'm just trying to help by. You know what I'm saying? Because he was talking about 15. I was just saying, like, remake would be because that
Well,
was
the only
exclusive on
the only
PlayStation.
reason the only reason
Listen,
why
you
I
got-
skipped remake
you got-
was like there's a
I'll
huge
shut up.
there's a huge
I'll be
nostalgia thing for remake. You know what I'm
Back to
saying?
Diablo.
Yeah, nah, man.
He's all like, I'm gonna go play Diablo now.
Yes.
Screw you
Oh, I'm
guys.
playing it now. So.
I was just explaining why I didn't say 7
No, yeah.
remake. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
yeah. Well, I think 7 Remake sold well, but there's a certain type of fan for that certain game, right?
Mhm.
Like, not everybody likes the futuristic type of Final Fantasy. There are people who love the more going back to the medieval times type of Final Fantasy. So I could see why this one would probably sell more than the 7 remake. Only for the simple fact that well, for one, it's more action based, right? And then for another thing, it's set in a medieval fantasy world. So I could see more people being gravitating towards that than 7 remake, which they've most people are like, well, I've already played 7, so I don't need to But I'm sure a lot of it has to do with some of the other games that they came out with. Like, not saying that these games are bad, because they're not bad, like Field and because that's not a bad game. Octopath Traveler 2, they're just not popular type of games.
I mean,
right?
Octopath,
So-
they have a cult following though with those games.
They
man.
do. those games definitely have a cult following. So there are people who will go out of their way to buy those games. Um, Valkyrie Elysium, when that came out last year, I knew that game wasn't going to sell well because of the simple fact that since the first game was on the PS1, right? And then they kind of remastered it on the PSP with Lenneth. And then they came out with a sequel which was on the PS2. I forgot the name of that game. And then they came out with Valkyrie Elysium. And and I knew like that game wasn't going to sell well, but also the game wasn't very good either, right? Like the game was decent. It was decent enough to run through and play it, but some of these games that they come out with for, I'm going to say it, a lot of them are niche type of games like Diofield Chronicles. Like not everybody likes that type of game, right? Like if you take something like Guardians of the Galaxy, there's going to be more people who like that game than there aren't going to be people who like that game, right? Because it's very action based. It's very, it's got a good story. It has a lot of stuff going on with it. And
You want to hear something crazy, Dark? You want to hear something crazy? Like when it comes to Guardians of the Galaxy, the video game, I thought it was okay.
I thought it was really good.
I thought it was okay.
You just said okay. I thought everybody was saying it was really, really good.
Nah, I thought it was okay. Like I heard everybody, and then when it went to Game Pass, like I went in and started playing it. I beat the game, all that good stuff, and like, there was some memorable moments and stuff like that. But like, it didn't blow me away, bro. It didn't. Like, it's a quality game, though. It's a quality game.
I mean, it's been a while since there's been a game that actually has blown me away. I mean, I would say probably
September, Starfield. That's it.
I would say since freaking Mass Effect 2, there hasn't really been a game that has like.
Oh, I feel bad for you, man.
Me too. Wow.
That's like
there hasn't been a game that has been like completely like been like, holy crap, this is.
That's like it's like somebody who hasn't busted a nut in like 2 years, man. What's going on? Holy shit!
No, it's just there's certain games like, I mean, I shouldn't go back that far because I think Spider-Man was a really great game. I've played that game so many times. Like that game didn't wow me though. Like when I think of wowing, I think of like, holy crap, this world is just completely amazing. This world Well, you know what? I have to take that back because I did play Tears of the Kingdom this year. And see, I forget some of the games I'm playing, man. I'm fucking tired.
That's because all the games you play are so similar, bro. They all blend in.
Stop it! Just stop it right now.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
No, you're wrong. You're wrong. No, you're wrong. You're wrong. Because I played Tears of the Kingdom this year, and that game didn't necessarily wow me either, but like it was still really great. But like it just takes a lot for me to be like, holy crap, this is like I have to be like, it has to be a game where I'm
has to be almost groundbreaking for you to be like that.
Well, it's got to be making me be like almost losing sleep because I'm thinking about what I want to do in the game. Like that's
Are you excited for Starfield?
No.
No, I'm so surprised after hearing all that. After hearing all that, like I see Starfield as something like groundbreaking. That
Possibly.
you can like live in.
It's a very possibility, but that's the thing. Like I'm not excited for it, but I'm still gonna play it. Like there's games that I'm like, I'm not so much excited for. I still want to play them though.
Mm-hmm.
Like the I just have a weird mindset when it comes to video games and stuff like that. But
it's not weird.
I think
you're you, bro. You're you.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm just trying to understand where you're coming from. That's all.
Yeah, I just think that there's a lot of games, especially from Square, that are just not up to par to what we're used to as like more AAA experiences or even AA experiences. So they've kind of dropped the ball in the past years with those kind of games, and and even with Final Fantasy 16, I wasn't wowed by the game. I thought it was good. I enjoyed it.
You
I
wouldn't
played
fucking
it,
stream it for me either.
but
You wouldn't do
but
it, man.
but the thing is with that game, it's there's a lot of moments where it becomes intense, and then it just drops, and then it becomes intense again, and then it drops again, and then you're like, well, you're getting story from that, but there's a lot of characters in between that, in between those moments of intensity, that I was all like, I don't give a crap what happens to this character at all. So it was just like, and I'm happy for them that they're making some money off of Final Fantasy 16. I don't know how much they're going to be able to succeed with that game. I mean, if they put it on PC, it'll probably succeed a lot more. I think if they would have put it on Xbox, it would have garnered more people to it than the 3 million that they said that they've sold so far. So I don't know.
I think they would have at least gotten 2 more million. At least 2 more.
Oh yeah, I think it would have been comparable to remake.
Yeah, one to
it would
2
have been
million
5
more.
to 6. Yeah, I think 5 to 6, close to 5 to 6 million. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
Sony gave them the bag, and they took it, and
what
what are you gonna do?
Dark, I feel like I need, from now on, I need to somehow coax that saying from you every episode, man. I don't know why, that was perfect,
Well, I mean,
man. It was
it's
so
not
good.
like they're the only ones who can do it. Nintendo does it. Microsoft does it. Clearly, Microsoft does it.
What does Microsoft do?
Give people the bag.
yeah, a few billion. That's all.
a few billion.
I'm reading in the chat. Fahim was telling me, because he's like, how do I know about Final Fantasy 16 when I didn't play it? And I'm thinking like, well, okay, first off, I didn't say anything bad about the game. I just said, look, I mean, and it's been clear. I mean, I've seen the gameplay of people, what they posted. And what they've even said, you've talked about it, right? You've told me that it's not like traditional turn based.
Here's the thing, bro. If that's the case, then any Xbox game that he's ever talked shit about, he's never played.
Yeah,
never.
That's pretty funny.
Fahim, what's going on, bro?
Yeah. You're out of pocket, because I'm just telling the truth. I mean, Final Fantasy games has been on a decline, and whatever that case may, whatever the problem could be, I think it's the exclusivity thing. And this for
I
a
just
fact
think it's not as popular as it used to be, bro.
I think that's how I feel about it as well.
Yeah.
With Bot, is that it's not as popular as it used to be. I think people are moving on from those franchises and getting into more like the new age stuff. Things that are more action and more balls to the wall, freaking graphics and everything, and story and everything. So I think more people are gravitating towards. And of course multiplayer. Multiplayer is a huge factor.
Don't worry. Square's got foam stars coming out, bro.
And taking away a lot of that money. So there's many factors than just one thing.
Dark's gonna be first in line for foam stars, by the way.
Okay, so let me. I gotta say
hold
this.
Hold on, real quick. Can I do a shout out real quick? I got to shout out. I got to shout out Sir X-Man for hitting up that super chat. Thank you so much for the support, brother. And I don't know if you guys heard it, but like a few minutes ago, I just laughed out loud. It was because of the super chat. Yeah, check it out. He says, "Oh my God, there is a show 2 weeks in a row." Yeah, shout out to you, Sir X-Man.
You did miss 2 weeks, and then now you're in 2 weeks in a row now.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm gonna miss 2 weeks after this, so it's like
wow.
Yeah.
That's okay. We're just gonna have to start that carousel door of special guests, man. So it's got to go on. But shout out to Jonathan Ball, bro. Good to see you. Fast back. G is in the building. Shout out to you, Fastback. Good to see you, bro. All right, K-Mega, Mike's yours. What were you going to say, brother?
I was just going to say, I mean, like, what things has gotten bad when people are trying to compare sales numbers to a fighter. And when they're trying to uplift to say, well, look, the Street Fighter, it only sold 2 million and this sold, and that's not really how you need to project it. How you should project it is, what did Street Fighter do when it was exclusive on PlayStation 4? What was those numbers compared to what Street Fighter is being a multiplat? And they don't want to have that conversation because
they're also talking about two different types of games.
Two type of genre, and the fighting genre is nowhere near as big as the JRPG field. So
do you know what fighting game sells big?
That's a decline.
Yo, the fighting game that sells big because there's such a big audience for it is Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
right.
Mortal Kombat is kind of is probably the most popular fighter right now.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of the best selling. That and Smash Brothers are the best selling.
Well, that would make it that would make it the most popular because it's
popularity and sales is a little bit different in that, especially in certain categories. Like I think in a movie sense, right? Like people will go see a Marvel movie. But not everybody likes everything.
Not lately, bro. Not lately.
No,
you're right.
He's
right about that.
No, I got you. I was just cracking a joke, man.
No. But it's I would think that
there's no cracking jokes. Okay?
I would say Tekken and
I knew
Street Fighter. Well, I mean, they are. They're very highly popular fighters. There's no question about it.
But I'm not gauging popularity for the whole group. I'm just saying it sells the most. It gets kind of it gets the most press. You know what I'm saying? When you look at it, Mortal Kombat, it's just people have kind of put that popularity crown on it right now. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't make number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5 doesn't make them not popular. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right. No.
Within the context of in the fighting realm, I mean, the popular ones are Tekken, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Soul Calibur. Those games are all popular, right? But that's the thing. I see what Bot's going towards is that in terms of marketing and in terms of sales and stuff, Mortal Kombat is probably the biggest.
It's king right now. It's king right now.
Smash is huge too.
Yeah, that's true.
Smash is very huge.
Smash Bros is insanely big.
Yeah,
but
it's ridiculous.
Games with longevity, it's the Street Fighters, it's the Tekkens, it's the Smash Brothers. See, people will play Mortal Kombat and then they'll move on. You see what I'm saying? That's the whole thing about what I was bringing up the Marvel or DC or something like that. People will go see it just because of the popularity of it, but it doesn't mean that they will get fully invested into every Marvel movie or DC movie or something like that. People are invested in Tekken. People are invested in Smash Brothers and Street Fighter. That's the difference. There are people that's invested in Mortal Kombat, but not like those games. That's all I'm saying, and that's nothing wrong about that. Mortal Kombat is the best selling out of the fighters, except for Smash.
A lot of it has to do with for movies. A lot of it has to do with fun factor, right? When a lot of people go see movies, they want to have fun. They want to enjoy what most of the time action movies are fun movies to watch, right? They don't have to think about what's going on,
right?
And and that's why a lot of those movies, I have a feeling that Oppenheimer is going to do well just because of the fact that it's Christopher Nolan. But movies like the Barbie.
I want to see that actually. I like movies like that, like Da Vinci Code, Oppenheimer, stuff like that.
I like those type of movies too. The Flash, things like that. I think people are kind of.
I accidentally bought The Flash, bro. I accidentally bought The Flash.
You accidentally bought it?
What? No, what happened was
accidentally buy it.
Well, what happened was I guess it was on sale for pre-order, but I thought it was the movie rental, and I was like, yeah, let me check this out and see what's going on, and then I click it, and I hit watch now, and they're like, it's not ready yet, and I'm like, what did I just? And then I found out, I pre-ordered it for when it does release. Like, fuck, man.
Well, it's released now, so you should be able to watch it.
Oh, okay. I'll do that tonight, actually.
Yeah.
Shit.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of people. Well, it's also a lot of people aren't going to the movie theaters as much as they used to anymore, as well, because people are like, well, the movie comes out like what in a couple months. I can just watch it at home. I'd rather just spend my money and wait to watch it at home, because then I can get a bunch of people together and we can watch the movie together or whatever for only like $20 or something.
The only reason why I threw $20 on that is because, like, when I started hearing about the movie, I'm like, man, like I wanted to make it a whole trip, go to the movies, all that good stuff, and I was like, and then I saw that they were like speeding it digitally through, and I'm like, I'll I was like, I'll just wait then, and then what did I do? Fucking bought it.
Well, I mean, Jonathan Ball just said I'd rather take incoming fire than watch the Flash. So I mean,
wow,
he's just one guy, but
wow.
There are a lot of people who feel that way, that are like, I'd rather just save my money.
I got to see Michael Keaton as Batman again. Let's be real.
And well, that's the thing. A lot of people are waiting for it to go to stream, like Netflix and stuff like that. Since they already pay for that, they're like, I'll just wait until it goes to there. There's a lot of that going on, and it's not necessarily, at least on the film side, it's not necessarily a good thing, because it's kind of people are hurting for money and hurting for
It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing for the people in the movie industry, because like when they're doing their budgets, they're thinking about the traditional way that a movie comes out. So now you have movies releasing that have such a high price tag, and they're only in the movie theaters for like less than a month, and then they're out of there. Yeah, nah, I hear you, man. It's
that and sometimes they come out sooner because people didn't go to watch it. Like Transformers: Rise of the Beast. I mean, that came out of theaters already, and it's on.
And it's already. Yeah, I was tripping out. I was like, well, I guess I'll just hop in there and. Yeah.
The reason is because people just didn't go to watch it.
I don't know. I don't know if Transformers movies are have the draw.
Good. It was actually better than the latest Michael Bay ones, like Last Night and Age of Extinction. It wasn't as good as Bumblebee, but it was still pretty good.
I was not the biggest fan of Bumblebee. I mean, I like Bumblebee because it wasn't Michael Bay, and this isn't Michael Bay either. So,
no,
it's going to be better. But I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I've seen Guardians of the Galaxy instead of that, and I really enjoyed Guardians. Guardians was fun.
I still got to see that. But
I have a very, very, very strong opinion about that.
Uh-oh. Okay. All right. Let's bring it. Let's bring it back into games here. Guys.
You got a visitor. Yeah.
Oh, we do. Oh, yeah. The Don is in the building, bro. What is going on?
Not much, man. I just got out of the cold plunge, and I decided, well, let's hop on next podcast and help out Bot and Game Mega.
Did you do one of those like really like ice ice dips like you?
Oh yeah, so yeah, my insurance paid for a big portion of it, and so I got one put it in the house in the downstairs bathroom. So yeah, it gets cold. There's a sheet of ice on the top of it. It's it gets the Viking blood going, if you know what I mean. So.
Yeah, no, like they say like it, the ice water, like you fully submerged in ice water, it releases dopamines and stuff like that. Like you get juiced, bro. Like you're ready to go.
You do, but the biggest thing for me was it helps with past injuries I've had from being an athlete. So that allows me to actually I can go work out afterwards and not injure myself. That's been the biggest game changer for me. So
that's crazy because there is history on this show with you and injuries, bro.
Those are mild injuries compared to my
dude. You almost you almost came to us live from the hospital.
Yeah, whatever. I'm sure they got a coffee mug with my name on it. It's not don't worry about it.
This man literally has sent us pictures of him having scraped up knees and bone just showing from his leg.
All right. Wow, we just lost half our viewership. Anyway, no, man.
I'm a meat popsicle of a gamer. I gotcha.
Yeah, it's wild.
All right, guys, let's switch the topic a little bit, man. Let's get into the Spider-Man 2, the story trailer that came out.
I didn't even watch it.
You didn't watch it? Well, I'll go to you second. Do you have a screen that you can kind of check it out while people are?
Pull it up.
Yeah, because it's like what, like a minute 37, something like that. It's not long at all. Yeah.
Okay. See if I can find it.
I get criticized every time I just share my honest opinions of Spider-Man because I am such a comic book nut when it comes to that character. All right, so I'm mostly gonna hand the reins over to you guys. Let's start with K Mega. Don, I don't know if you checked out the trailer yet.
There's a new one.
Yeah, it came out today.
Yeah,
Okay,
came out today.
It shows
About 2 hours ago. Yeah.
they show Venom this time. By the way, that little screenshot that they showed earlier in the day, you can tell from the texture on the character model, like that was like in game. By the way, like people are arguing on Twitter about that. It's like, no, that's like an in-game cutscene. Not pre-rendered or anything like that. It's an in-game cutscene.
Yeah. No, in-game. Yeah, it was. Because it showed the same thing in live action in a trailer.
Yeah, exactly. But K Mega, what did you think about the trailer? And I gotta ask you about the Spider-Man PS5, because I looked at it when I saw the red, like my eyes inverted the way that they wanted us to see it. I could tell they wanted us to see it as the black enveloping the red. Mm-hmm. And to me, it looked like a blood splatter with a spider in the middle of it on a black system. But I also want to know what you think about the look of the limited edition console as well.
Yeah, no, I think it looks good. I mean, I think, of course, we've said this before, that Microsoft needs to get it in gear on making more of those type of consoles, and that should do very well for them, for sure. I mean, they even have it to where you could just buy the plates by themselves, and then the controller looks pretty slick. So yeah, no, it's a nice look. For the trailer, the trailer looks fun. It looks real fun. It's gonna be one of those things where it's going to be a lot of stuff going on, and I don't know if that for a person that is want to get deep into the story. For me, I'm not going to trip about it, because once I eventually play it when it comes on PC, I will. I'm going to enjoy it. I enjoy the other Spider-Mans. I really, 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 really like Miles Morales.
Even that new haircut. You like the new haircut?
Yeah, I dig it. I mean, it is what it is. I don't even look that deep into all that type of stuff.
Well, shout out to Ash and Luca, because she was on Twitter. She's like, "This is a safe space, right?" She's like, "What's up with that haircut, though?"
Yeah. No, I mean, it is what it is. But
it's got the millennial poof. What the hell's that shit?
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's new age stuff. This is kids. I got nothing to do with it. It is what it is. But,
oh man, bring back Top Knot. That's like that.
Man. I know that there will be. And see, look, I'm into the comics. I'm a Spider-Man fan as well. I know that there's going to be some some purists out there, or some people that wants to be some kind of critic but isn't. Try to break down the fact because Osborn is going to be Venom and instead of Brock and all that other stuff. And listen, I mean, that is what it is. You can have that right to be upset about it. All I care about is the game looks fun from the gameplay. It reminded, when people were talking bad about it, saying that graphically it didn't look up to par, which it did. I mean, when you look at a game that with the enhancement between Horizon Forbidden West compared to Horizon Zero Dawn, there's a drastic difference. That looks definitely next gen, but Spider-Man looks polished. It looks better than the previous, not overwhelmingly, but it still looks good. They got, I've seen people that was trying to talk about Mary Jane Watson and, and how that, but I mean, this is supposed to be events that happened 2 years after the first Spider-Man. So, people are going to look a little bit different, age, I'm saying, they got the hair, stuff like that. I thought it looked fun. I mean, break it down. I mean, you got all these, you got Scorpion, you're going to have, oh my goodness, why can't the Craven?
Yeah.
Then you're going to have Venom. And then of course you're going to be able to play as Miles in the game, and maybe there might be some other surprises and things like that. Hell, I mean, the Wolverine game is going to come. They may show an X-Men or something like that. I don't know. It's going to be jam-packed, so it's definitely going to be a game that is going to be a contender for Game of the Year. And I mean, I know it's going to rake. It's going to do real big. I'm saying, it looked fun. Looked real fun.
Nice, brother. Let's see here. Don, did you see the trailer? I didn't hear if you saw it.
I just watched it, like as you mentioned it, because I didn't realize it was out.
Okay, and of course you got kind of like the graphical eye. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You build graphics in games and stuff like that. So it's going to be really interesting to hear what you have to say. Again, you watched it once, kind of went through it, but what did you pick up from it, man?
Well, I didn't watch it with sound, so just to be very clear.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to interrupt the podcast in any sort of way. But no, it looks good. I mean, I've never been negative about this new Spider-Man game in any sort of way. I'm in the same boat as King Mega. I know it's coming to PC, so I'm just going to play it there when it does come out. And that's not a slide to PlayStation. It just
it's
where I prefer to play in regards to it. But it looks good. Yeah. I think and I'm not in the same boat as you, Bot. Like, I think you're very much, and I don't want to misrepresent you on this, but you're very much a, what I would call a comic book traditionalist, as far as what you love from
Don,
it. Like,
can I just explain something real quick with my whole thing on this? Like, this is how I look at this, right? Again, I grew up with these stories. Right? Mm-hmm. I grew up with these stories, and they all had interesting twists.
Growing up is a little strong.
Okay. But they all had interesting twists and turns. I hear everybody, they're like, oh, they're making Spider-Man their own and everything. And I'm like, well, you got this plethora of incredible stories. And you're not going to use any of that, and you're just going to twist them all and make it what you want. Like, I don't get that to me. Me personally, I don't get that. That's why I'm not going to sit there and bash it or anything like that. I think it looks good, but that's all I got to say about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm done.
I get that, but like where I look at it is, comic books are known for when they get new artists and new writers, they kind of take a different spin on everything. If you get where I'm going with that, right?
Right.
I mean, hell, they got to the point where they had to create a multiverse just so they can do different shit, right? So in the world of Marvel Comics, where you have multiverses and you have all these different ways you can re-explore and tell the story over again, and have a little bit of flexibility, it doesn't undermine those previous stories that exist or anything like that. It allows them to be creative in that space. And so I think that's not necessarily a bad thing. It introduces people to it and introduces conversation, right? Like, you can have, like, someone plays the Spider-Man game and never reads the comics and runs into Bot. You guys can have a different conversation, and you're like, oh, all these different things happen in the comics that were different than the game. Then it gets people interested. Maybe I should go pick up the comic.
Like, yeah, dude. In order for Spider-Man to get that black suit, he actually had to be in space. Like, that's where he found that shit. Like,
yeah, I get that. So, but that's what I'm saying, though. That's what strikes up that conversation. So
Spider-Man 3, the movie.
What happened?
I wonder what you think of Spider-Man.
I fucking hated Spider-Man 3. Oh my goodness. That Eddie Brock, I can make a whole show on this channel just talking shit about that.
Eddie Brock thing, but the symbiote, him getting the black suit doesn't.
No, none of that. Like, and even the Venom movie was a tough pill to swallow, but they were kind of like, there were deep dives into
I will say I like
the lore
I like
in the
Tom
movie.
Hardy's- I like Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock.
I like Hart. Yeah, and guess
Yeah.
what? He's the right shape. He's got the right voice. Everything for Eddie Brock for
Yeah.
Venom. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but that's
Yeah,
just
I
me.
mean-
My bad, Don. Go ahead.
But get where I'm coming from. Like, comic books are known for having these different iterations on them. They explore. I mean, how many different types of X-Men comics and how the stories don't intertwine? Like, there's just a whole new series, and they have a whole new team, a whole new group of people, and it's all based on different writers and different artists and all that sort of stuff. Comic books are just fundamentally known for that. So when you go to a different medium like video games or movies, you want to show respect to the original source material, right? To some degree.
I don't
But
feel
you
like they're
also want-
doing that though. Like I really don't, yo.
Yeah, but there's a range of, you should allow for a range of flexibility. Like, it's
do.
not undermining any of the other Spider-Man stuff. It's just, it's its own thing.
Yeah, that's what's up.
I got you, man. And here's the thing. And Fahim, like first off, I am a nobody to these developers, these studios, these publishers. They have no idea who I am, and they can care less. They can't care any less about my opinion when it comes down to it. But at the end of the day, I can just say, hey, yeah, no, I don't like their stories. There's nothing wrong with that, yo. Nothing.
No, there's nothing wrong with
And
that.
I
There's nothing wrong with that.
played the first Spider-Man PS4 on my PS4.
for like a minute.
Not like a
You did a
minute.
little bit longer
I
than that
know,
because I was
I
watching
did
them.
I did 3 or 4 streams, man, where I was there a couple hours each time, yo.
3, 4
You don't have to.
streams.
You don't have to explain yourself, man. I was just kidding. Jeez.
Yeah, but no, that's I've heard that before as well. Man. Like I've heard
No,
so much about
triggers you,
people
that's
hate
when-
that I don't like the new Spider-Man. Like I don't know why. I have no
Well,
idea
Let me
why.
ask you this: do you like the Spider-Mans that Activision did?
There were a couple, but one
Okay,
thing.
So,
but hold
you're
on.
pretty consistent. You just don't like Spider-Man games.
I just want them. I want them to get into the good stories, and I feel like when it comes to Sony, I know they're doing Venom now and everything like that. I feel like Sony is addicted to Sinister Six, and I hate that, yo. Anytime they turn around and have any bit of success, they like try to bring in the Sinister Six all the time, yo. I hate that. There's so many more
That is
villains
true.
out there, so many more, yo. Like I don't like what they're doing with the Spider-Man franchise.
There's quite
man.
a few. There's quite a few in this Spider-Man. So
No,
that's what
yeah,
I'm saying,
I know.
like, it could be. It could be one of those scenarios where it's too jam-packed, and so the story kind of gets lost.
The Halo effect, Halo 5 effect, I call it.
Yeah. Like you just got too many things going on, and so that could be a possibility. Because I feel that Craven should have his shine. Now we don't know how it's going to play out. I mean, but we'll see.
Yeah, and again, like I'm not dogging the game. Like that's the funny thing when I say I'm like I don't like what they're doing here. I don't like what they're doing there. I don't like what they did with the black costume on him, stuff like that. Like I'll say what I don't like, but like I'm not telling anybody else. Like everything, it looks like high quality, put together. It's gonna be a great game for people who pick it up. I'm just not gonna be one of those people. Like there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. But all right. Let's see here. Dark, you got to see it. What are your thoughts? And I got to get both of your guys on the look of the console as well. So let me know about the game. Hit the console, and I'll go back to Don for his thought on the console.
Okay. Game looks good. I have no real qualms with it. The only thing I think I'm a little bit kind of like weirded out by is that Harry looks younger than Peter in the game. So I'm kind of like thinking to myself, did he like revert back to a younger age? Because I mean, Miles is there too. So I'm like, and then Miles looks older than Harry too. And I'm just like, I don't know if it's maybe just the actor that they got or what it is, but yeah, it looks a little weird. And then, Mary Jane looks, Mary Jane from the first one, so she looks fine. But I'm excited for it. You know, I was a huge fan of the Spider-Man PS4, so I'm definitely going to be picking this up day one. Um, I definitely uh, am not in the same boat as Bot with the whole story stuff and everything like that. I mean, I've read the comics too, and I love the comics and I love the movies and stuff. But I always have the because I've worked in film and stuff. I know that when you take an original story, or you take something, you kind of want to make it your own, so that then it feels like you're the one who's making it instead of somebody else making it. So I get where how Insomniac is making the game is like,
But do you think that's a fine line that you have to walk, though?
yeah, it is definitely a fine line that you have to walk, man. It's definitely like something that you don't want to overcross that line, but you also don't want to stay true to that line as much as you can. But it's just, I think it's kind of, they have to find a good balance between making the fans happy, making Spider-Man's fans happy, and also making gaming fans happy, because there are people out there that are gamers that don't like comics, who
Yeah.
don't like movies and stuff, and they want to play the game, and this kind of gets them into it. So they kind of have to find that, it's the same thing with movies. They have to find that line of like being satisfied, having the fans be satisfied of the original product, and garnering that general audience as well, that majority audience. So it's hard to do that, and sometimes they fail and sometimes they succeed, and clearly Insomniac is succeeding with that. Not to Bot, but they are succeeding with
Dude,
other
I am
people,
not
right?
the only one that
I know you're
feels
not
this
the only
way.
one, but you're
I'm
the only
not.
one that I've talked to that feels this way. So
Well,
that's
stop
why
hanging out in
that's why
echo chambers. You'll be good, bro.
that's why I'm singling you out, is because you're the
I've
only
seen
one
this
that I know
before.
it.
Go and type all the stuff you just said into a Spider-Man forum. Okay.
I'm sure there will be plenty of people who will be upset and mad, because I mean, it's the same thing with Star Trek. It's the same thing with Star Wars. People are just upset because it's the new thing, and then and then later on down the road they're like, oh yeah, that movie was actually pretty good. And I'm just like, okay,
Right.
whatever. Um, but the console, I don't like it at all. I think it looks,
Really?
I don't like it. I understand where they're going with it. They're trying to say that the symbiote is trying to consume the PS5, and then you got the spider, in the little corner, and then you have it just, what it looks like to me? It looks like just a painted on decal, like the first one. Like, it just looks like somebody, like
Like
when they
all of
did
PlayStation's
Spider-Man.
limited edition consoles going
No,
from PS4 to PS5.
No, the Spider-Man
No,
other
no.
that one was real
My
slick.
bad. I was thinking like PS4, like the Call of Duty one and
No.
Darth Vader
Oh, yeah.
one.
No,
and-
the Final Fantasy, the Final Fantasy 15 one that they did, and the God of War no, not God of War
the Destiny 2 one, PS4 that they did
Destiny
was
The white one,
awesome.
yeah.
Those were really nice. I mean, those
That
were
was
really nice.
awesome.
I feel like they kind of like, every once in a while they get a really nice looking one, and then for the majority of it, it's like,
They're like, we
I
spent too
wouldn't
much
buy
money on that prototype. We got to cut the budget a little bit, bro.
it. Yeah, it's just, I wonder if they're gonna sell like the plates separately, and then you can buy the plates,
Yeah,
or you
the
can buy the
plates are
controller
separate.
separately.
Yeah.
Are they separate? Are they?
Yeah,
Because
they're
it
separate.
didn't say that in the trailer. It just said that the
I can
I've
tell you
seen-
what. All
yeah.
I have to do is manufacture the plates that make the custom consoles.
Right.
Right.
So,
Well,
like
yeah.
that's kind of the genius of that design. If
Yeah,
you're gonna give any
Wario
credit.
or somebody, Shinobi, one of them showed the
okay.
yeah, so
Yeah,
they
see,
showed
I
it
haven't
separate.
been on. I haven't been
Yeah.
on freaking the internet. I mean, I've been on the internet, but I haven't been on Twitter or anything.
Yeah, but you know, being on Pred's
Yeah.
OnlyFans is technically you're on the
I know, it
internet,
isn't.
but
I
you
know.
know.
I know, but you know, he needs the money too, man.
Hey, Hollywood's
Oh,
on
man.
strike, but not Pred.
God.
You
He's,
know what I mean?
he's spending
Yeah.
he's spending all that money right now on one-legged hookers in Vegas,
Exactly.
man.
That's.
No, I told you the
I'm
woman
his. I'm
that was
his
rubbing
meal
all that cake
ticket
on my body in that Walmart.
Vegas. No, shut up to Pred. He's gonna be like, "What are you
I
guys?"
think I'm finna
Here's this.
repost that because my eyes it's seen it. I'm gonna have to share that
Wait,
so y'all can see
you
it.
say there's a
too.
one-legged prostitute at
Raw
Walmart.
predator
No,
footage right there.
There's a woman that got butt ass naked in a Walmart, got into the cake and sweet section and was rubbing cake, cinnamon rolls, all that shit all over her body, and just like it was just. And then
Sounds like she's
Pred-
applying for a job, is what it sounds like.
No,
I mean, that's what I do. That's what I do anytime I apply at a grocery store.
because that's
You
pretty
get
wild.
naked
But yeah,
and, you know.
yeah.
Rub myself with
Why
sweets,
not?
yeah, you know.
with
Yeah.
sweets.
Oh, the world
Yeah.
is rotting from the inside out.
It is. It is. No question.
Well, guys, check this
Oh,
out.
man.
Check this out. I want to hit kind of like the main
You
topic
can ask Don about
because
the console.
what happened? Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Don
Don with the
about-
console. All right, so we got everybody except the Don when it comes to the console. Don, I do like your remarks about how the design was genius when it comes to the limited edition factor for the consoles, because I agree 110% on that. What do you think about the look, bro?
It doesn't sing out to me, but I've never really liked custom consoles all that much, to be honest with you. Even Xbox custom
Same.
consoles.
Yeah.
Like, there's a couple of them like, oh, that's kind of cool, and then I'm like, yeah, but do I want to put that underneath my television?
Right.
Not really. I have adults that visit my house, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
yeah, so they just don't have that same appeal. But the fact that, you know, and I've been critical of PlayStation 5's design as far as it is from an aesthetic standpoint, where it looks like a pop collar. But the concept where the plates are removable is reminiscent of the old 360 days where you had the face cover that was removable. But that's literally on the PlayStation. It's two-thirds of the console visuals are removable, and you can pop something else on. So I think that part is pretty genius on PlayStation's part. And I think you can really just change the look of the console in so many different ways. I mean, you can even do something that has a totally different mold and shaping to it. Like, they didn't have to take the same plastic mold. They could have done something else if they wanted to. And I'm most likely we'll see that down the road. But yeah, I'm just not. It just doesn't sing to me. I get what they're going for. It's kind of boring.
I think that they should have had more red in there, and maybe the black coming from two different angles. You know what I'm saying? Because like when I first saw it, I saw it like the opposite way. Like, you know, all you guys are just like, yeah, I can see the symbiote like taking over the console. I see it as like a black system with like a red splatter. You see what I'm saying?
That's kind of how I feel. It just looks like they took the black plates and just slapped a sticker on it and said, "That's good." You know. Then I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, a little Adobe Illustrator and some time, you can make those yourself with some vinyl, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, but then again, it's not. I mean, to each his own on that sort of stuff. Custom consoles are always hit and miss for me, and that one is definitely a miss. But it doesn't mean I won't be interested in the game or anything like that. And I'm glad these sort of things do exist for people that want that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like, you know, I'm always an advocate for, if things don't affect me directly, like, and then some other gamers into something else, I'll be an advocate, and I'll root for that sort of thing to exist out there. And so, custom consoles. I mean, everyone's better off. Xbox, Nintendo, Sony's better off making a custom console, and if it kind of sucks, so what? At least they tried. At least it's out there, right? At least it's an effort towards something. You can make the next one better, right? I'd much rather have a couple of them that are just hit and miss out there because eventually you'll get to the ones that are really, really good. And that really will sing out to those people that are really into that sort of stuff. So, yeah, I want to see custom consoles for those people, but I'm not interested.
I got you, man. I got you. I mean, I will say, it was definitely more interesting than what I've seen kind of like recently from PlayStation in terms of the limited edition. But yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. Like, definitely give it a try. Xbox, you hear? You hear? Because we got Starfield controller, we got a Starfield headset. No system. What's going on, man? But I don't know. I still want.
I've noticed with Xbox.
I still want the Halo Infinite Series X though. I still want that thing, man.
I feel like they've done more with the Series S customizability than they have with the Series X.
Definitely
lower risk.
Yeah, lower risk. That's true. Yeah, lower
definitely.
Risk. But I think they definitely need to do that with the Series X too. Because I mean, there are, like Don said, there are people who love customized consoles, and especially Gears fans. Like, if you make a Gears looking Series X, that I know at least of 3 people in this community who would actually go out and buy that. So
shout out to Lady Foxfire.
Lady Foxfire, Crispy would probably be one of those. You know,
remember the Gears console that came out that like had the ice logo kind of showing through? It's almost holographic. That was really cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was crazy.
So I mean that's what Xbox I think maybe paints themselves a little bit of a corner in the sense that they go all in when they do it, if you know what I mean. And those probably cost a lot more for them to do when they do that sort of thing. So maybe a happy medium ground is somewhere between what Sony does and what Xbox has done in the past. I think is where I would like to see custom consoles kind of land. So
nice, bro. And now that we got everybody's opinion on that, let's get into the main topic. And of course, now that we know, I mean, basically ABK is going through. We've seen so much within the court process in terms of what Xbox was kind of like throwing out there in terms of things they can do, publishers, studios that they could purchase. Guys, remember, Xbox's whole plan here is to be self-sufficient when it comes to Game Pass. So, they need a buttload of studios to, be working on games and stuff like that. They're planning on at least, 4 first-party games to come out every year. I got to ask you guys, what's next? We saw some of the hypothesis, and I'm going to throw mine out there real quick. Sega. This is something I have wanted for a long time, and like, if this can get done, I would really love to see Sonic and his whole crew and stuff like that. You got kind of like that whole mascot thing going on. I would love to see acquisition of Sega when it comes to Xbox. And when it comes down to it, I know a lot of people are trying to be I guess you could say, I don't want to say PC, I don't want to say politically correct, but they're trying to step softly around possible next moves. And I got to ask you guys, people on the panel, don't do that. And the reason why, even after the acquisition of ABK, Microsoft's not even close. Xbox is not even close to what they would consider a quote-unquote monopoly. All right? When it comes to this whole thing. So, you take that whole thought and just throw it out the window. All right? We're not dealing with that here. So, with that being said, I'm going to go to Dark first on this one. Dark, I think we could say ABK is finally done. I know they extended the date. I know that they're looking more towards kind of like the end of August to kind of like finish everything off. And so the extra couple months was just there just in case or whatnot. So we're basically getting to the end of that. Dude, what's next? What would you want to see when it comes to Xbox and their next move? Because they said they're not done. What's good? What do you think is the next move when it comes to Xbox?
I mean, I know this is gonna sound kind of like pony-ish, but I just want to see games from them. To be honest, like the whole publishing and buying publishers or buying developers thing, it's fine and dandy. Even on the PlayStation side, like it's okay, it's fine, but I want to know what games are coming from those publishers when you buy them. You know, like I know that Call of Duty's coming from Activision, right? I mean, everybody knows Call of Duty's coming, but what other games are you gonna have Activision do? You know, are you gonna, you know? And I know that it's too early to say what's gonna come from them because you know the deal hasn't closed yet. But I want to know what, you know, if they're gonna bring back old franchises. You know, is there gonna be some, you know, new stuff that they're gonna planning on doing? You know, I care more about the games that are coming from these developers and publishers more than I do care about the acquisitions of these developers or publishers.
Yo, definitely. Like I agree with you 100%. When it came to the whole ABK thing, I know everybody was talking about Call of Duty. You know me, man. I don't play Call of Duty. Like,
right, yeah, exactly.
I did, you know, for a few hours at certain points in time to, you know, kind of try to get into.
You played a couple times and you were just like,
yeah,
we're gonna go back to Halo 5.
But even with me saying Sega, the reasoning behind that is there are so many dormant IPs under Sega that I would want to see come back.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely, you know, understandable. I think, you know, if anything, I mean, there's not really much I'm like, man, I would love to see that game come back. I mean, for me personally, like on the Activision side, I'd like to see Prototype, you know, come back in some sort of way. Maybe not in the same context as like, you know, with Alex Mercer and stuff like that. I would like to see maybe with John, like from, I forgot his last name, but I forgot his last name because he was in Prototype 2. He's the character that you play in Prototype 2. He was an awesome character, and that game, that Prototype 2 was so good. I don't know why I know why they stopped making it. People weren't gravitating toward it, but I'd like to, you know, I want to, you know, right now I can't really think of. I mean, maybe, you know, Ubisoft bringing back Prince of Persia, but they are bringing it back. So it's like, you know, there's not very much. Like I don't care about Golden Axe or you know, things like. I know.
Dude, that's the reason why I want to play Towerborn, because to me it looks like this generation's Golden Axe, man.
Yeah, I mean, I just didn't play those games when I was, you know, younger. I played, you know.
You had such a bad childhood.
I did play Rampage, you know.
Oh, okay.
That would be a cool game to see come back, you know, or something like that. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, I only care really about the games that are coming than them acquiring, you know, more studios or publishers or whatever. Like, honestly, I think they have enough. I know they're not done, but I think that they have enough to be like, yeah, we can, you know, come out with games and stuff like that on a regular basis. I know that they're going to continue to try to, you know, get more publishers and more developers, you know, on their console. And I mean, PlayStation's going to do the same thing. Nintendo, I mean, I don't even remember the time they acquired studios, so who knows when they're going to do that again, you know? So it is just, I think it's like, I think for me personally, I think it's kind of dumb. People are like, well, I want, you know, Xbox to acquire Take-Two, you know, and I'm like, but
why?
Reason?
Yeah, but why? Like, besides console war bullshit, you know, why? Give me a real reason why.
Right, exactly. It's besides all that other bull crap, because I mean, we all know it's for console war crap, but what's the real reason why you want over on Xbox or PlayStation or whatever? And most of the time people can't come up with the answer except for, well, it's going to be in Game Pass, or, well, it's going to be off of Xbox. You know, and for me, that's not a good enough reason for a company to buy a publisher or developer.
That's one of the big reasons why Xbox bought ZeniMax.
What?
Starfield.
Well, yeah, they bought it.
Because Sony was about to grab that shit as an exclusive,
right.
And they're like, "Yo, hold the fuck on here."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Man, well,
they
we
were
can...
right to do so." But
hell yeah.
Also, they were, they're in their right to do whatever they want, in terms of buying publishers and developers and stuff.
Hold on, can you say that one more time?
What?
Just reiterate. They can do what?
They can do what they want by buying publishers and.
Okay.
And there's no, the only reason why the whole ABK thing was such a huge fiasco is because the FTC was all like, we're going after big business, kind of stuff.
Is that why, or was it Jim Ryan and PlayStation really just getting in there?
It was part of that, but a lot of it was the FTC being like, we're going to go after big business, and it didn't work out for them. So, But
well, yeah, they're going after big tech, is what
tech.
they're going,
which is basically Microsoft. I mean, big tech is Microsoft, Apple,
yeah,
places like that. I mean, they're going to be going after Apple at some point, if Apple decides to buy something or whatever, or because I mean, Disney's planning on. I don't know if you guys know.
I agree. I just talked about selling them again.
They're planning on possibly selling to somebody. So I mean, it either will go. It more than likely it'll either go to Microsoft or it'll go to Apple. So, or maybe Amazon. Maybe
I was gonna say it'll be Amazon or Apple. I don't think that.
Yeah.
I don't think Microsoft. Microsoft could definitely have the money to do it. It's just, I think that's not in their wheelhouse.
You know what I think? You know what I think? I think Disney's not going anywhere anytime soon. I
honestly don't think. I think that's the same way as well. I don't think.
I don't. Okay, but this is the thing. No, Disney is not going anywhere. Even if they got acquired by Apple.
What I'm saying is, Iger's not doing that. Is what I'm saying. Not anytime soon.
He's been saying it for years.
He wants that finish him off in generational, having generations of complete wealth. That check would be insane. He would get.
He's just putting it out there that he wouldn't mind being bought, so he can get that check and leave. Basically, Yeah. So it's crazy, man.
He just wants a sugar mama, man. That's the harsh reality.
It's totally what it is.
He does.
He spent too much damn money. He's like, oh man, now I need a sugar mama.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how it is too, man. It's crazy.
Yes, sir.
All right, real quick, I got to do a couple shout outs here. Yo, shout out to Dragonheart Yobi hitting up that super chat one more time. And yo, I can't tell him not to right now because he's talking about games he wants. Like we got to let that through. So he says, True Crimes Vigilante 8 would love to see come back, as well as a HD remake of past Spider-Man games and Transformers. Got you, bro. And you know what's funny?
To see a Transformers game come back.
You know what's funny? Like when he said the old Spider-Man games, because I know you guys asked me whether or not I liked them, and there was a couple. Shattered Dimensions was one that I really
Shattered
liked.
Dimensions was the one that you'd probably like.
And well, the reason why, if you look at the older kind of like Activision Spider-Man games, right? They would have their own stories. But they were centered around like a villain doing something again, a villain concocting a plan. It's not taking, what used to be Eddie Brock and then throwing the supervillain costume on Harry instead. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of like it's source material into a new problem. All right, as opposed to like changing the universe. That made me think of that. But I also got to shout out our brother Sir X-Man hitting up the super chat, and this is a little more. This is a little more for the throat. He says, "Call of Duty backwards compatibility, most popular game on Xbox. Ponies are mad." You know what? I think they're just mad that the acquisition is going through. And
yeah, they're more mad about that.
Any enjoyment you get out of any of that, whether it's the Call of Duty, and we all knew Call of Duty backwards compatibility, we knew the servers were gonna get like started again and all that good stuff. We've seen it time and time again when it comes to Game Pass. All right, they acquire new IPs, those go right in there. If they're multiplayer, the servers get kicked right back up, and everything's moving. So
well, that's
I mean,
the thing. Most of those Call of Duty games that they did backwards compatible with the Xbox One, those servers were up for a while, and then of course they shut them down because people aren't playing them or whatever. It's going to be the same thing with them when they come to Game Pass. They're going to shut those servers down eventually because people aren't playing it. Whatever.
I'm not going to say that they'll never shut the servers down. I'll never say that. But with Xbox kind of like centering everything around Game Pass and the subscription, right?
Yeah.
I don't think they care if you're playing a newer Call of Duty or an older Call of Duty. As long as you are playing it and you're playing it through Game Pass, they're happy.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Listen here, Crackdown is still playable on Xbox right now.
Yes.
It's true. Yeah.
I mean, we played it, right, K-Mega?
Yep. Just need 6 players or more, and we can be in Crackdown 3. That's it.
Okay, you're talking the multiplayer. I got you. I love the
multiplayer.
I love the story of Crackdown. I thought that was really good. Yeah. Yes. I really like the story of Crackdown 3.
Well, even if they close the servers on the Call of Duty games, there's still the single player campaigns that you can play. And you could still hook up, get a landline going, and
yeah, but
oh wow.
I guess my point is, like, you go try to play Crackdown right now and like load up. It's not that the servers are not working. There's not enough people to play them.
Yeah.
There's just not enough. Yeah.
Right, but as soon as you have enough people to play them, and you all hit the button, you ready up, the game starts.
Yeah.
So Don, I think you're trying to say that's an example of, hey, they might not like shut down servers.
It's called what it is. It's a dead multiplayer game, right?
Yeah.
But it still works. So
that's
I think
interesting.
the way their network works is they're able to ramp up and ramp down as demand is needed very well. That's what Microsoft does really well. So I don't really think that's a problem. Like, your biggest issue is player base. If no one's on there, then obviously multiplayer matches don't work. If you get where I'm going with that. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very interesting when it comes to talking about the backwards compatibility. I haven't even tried to jump in for multiplayer for Crackdown in quite a long time.
It's me and K Mega. It was an interesting time. I think I have that stream still on my channel.
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. I got gameplay from it.
Yeah,
I got gameplay from it. Trust me.
Yeah,
I got gameplay.
It's a different experience when you see the same person over and over again.
I wonder who we're fighting next. Oh, I know. Yeah.
I think that's Don in the corner again.
Why is Don in the corner?
We just wanted to
I don't know, because
we just wanted to
see if it still was working, and it was.
It's not just that. We just want Phil to get an email. People are playing Crackdown right now.
Right.
What the hell's going on? I
like,
just wanted
what?
to get like a late night call.
Stop pranking me. Like,
people playing Crackdown 3 multiplayer right now. I don't know how it's happening, but it's happening.
Nice, man. Nice. Let's see here. Well, we got to Dark. Let's go to Don next on this one. Now, Don, ABK deal is basically finalizing. They got that one little thing to do with the UK, and then they'll be all set. So I got to ask you again, They're trying to be self-sufficient with a streaming service, so they have to have content coming out. Dude, what do you think the next move is for Xbox?
Ubisoft.
What? You crazy? Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
What? Why is that a surprise?
I don't know. When I look at Ubisoft, I guess Activision at one point in time looked untouchable as well. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Activision is more untouchable than Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Ubisoft doesn't have the same value, and they're financially in a bad spot right now.
Really?
But
How bad? How bad?
It maybe do or die in the next couple of years for them.
Oh shit, man.
Yeah, so they're in a very difficult financial spot as far as all that stuff is concerned. At least that's how they make it sound like the next couple of years are do or die for the company. But they have a lot of things that makes, we talk about like when people are like kind of make it console war-ish. It's not really that is the way I would say approach it from a big purchase for Microsoft. They have a huge level of games as a service.
Mm-hmm.
Their games, and even if it's not games as a service, the game, you buy a game, you play a game from Ubisoft, you're not hanging up that game in less than a week, right?
Just ask K Mega about that one, man.
A lot of the games you play for a couple months, right? So they have legs, and that plays really well into like stuff like Game Pass. Like imagine a major Ubisoft release comes on Game Pass. Well, that game is relevant for another 2 or 3 months. You get where I'm going, because it has legs in regards to that, and they have a lot of stuff in the pipeline. So I think they have a lot of things in the works that we don't know of over at Ubisoft, and so that makes them also ripe for, I would say, purchasing, because they bad financial issues. But they have a lot of valuable IP to gamers, and you're not trying to turn them into a type of company that they're not, right? Like they already are that type of company that makes games that they have long play times. So yeah, I think Ubisoft is in the prime for something like that, just because of where they're at financially. And it becomes a lot less of a headache with all the stuff you saw with the ABK deal, right? Like, what was, the most relevant game was Call of Duty. Everyone knows about Call of Duty. That's the reason why the conversation circled around that, even though that's not the most valuable thing that Activision has. Well, let's say if you take Two, well, then you have an exclusive basketball game that becomes kind of like a talking point. You have
Grand Theft Auto,
so that you can't like just slip that one under the radar. if you know what I mean. Like, Grand Theft who? Like,
Grand Theft what? What? What's that?
Yeah, it doesn't work like that, right? So, but if you say Assassin's Creed, yeah, that's known amongst us as gamers. But I was watching someone that was literally a streamer on Twitch and didn't recognize the Assassin's Creed logo. Right, like he games for a living, and he does it. So
that's rough, man.
So what I'm saying, it's not as much of a mainstream sort of product as those other things, but it has a lot of value. So I think that would be the next major move. It also being U.S. and mostly Canada based makes it a little easier for purchase than say like a Sega. Because
yeah, I know Sega would be tough.
Japan.
Sega would be tough, man. I know that.
Yeah. Just it's funny because America is okay with selling their stuff to other countries, but it's not really the same the other way around. Does that make sense? It's much harder
but it is possible because they did discuss it though.
It is very well possible, but it's difficult to pull off, is what I'm saying. So yeah, I mean, I just think that
Ubisoft does, even though I'm not really down with it. You know what I'm saying? In terms of like catering to me, it doesn't do it too much. But I got to agree with you. It would absolutely make sense with the type of games that they come out with and how people invest in that. And then you're looking at Game Pass little perks when it comes to different like cosmetics and stuff like that. Like I can definitely see all of that, Don.
Yeah, I mean, Bethesda's the same way for me. Like, you know, some stuff is hit and miss for me. Some things I love from those guys, and the other things I care less, right? And I think that's how the big purchases like that are going to be. Even with the Activision deal, you talk to anyone that plays Activision games, there's going to be some people who are like, I don't care about that game, right? But they're really into this other thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I think with big purchases, that's going to happen. I think also people can fly. I wouldn't be surprised if they're not already purchased or the paper is just waiting to be inked as soon as this Activision deal's done.
Okay.
So,
yeah, definitely smaller purchases as well. You know, just one studio here, one studio there, stuff like that. But
there's a lot out there that I think people can fly are basically already on the docket. Like there's certain contracts flying around and stuff like that around them. Yeah, I would highly recommend if anyone's into Xbox content to look in those places, because there's a contract about them working on a new IP for Microsoft. But if they leave and they go their own separate way, Microsoft retains the IP. So like, are they helping out another studio, or are they primed to be purchased, or is it kind of the deal like the deal they gave them if there are going to be purchases in them, that sort of things, like we own you, but you do have your right to leave, kind of like how Bungie did, that sort of thing. So there's something going on there. There's bits and pieces, and so it's hard to kind of put it all together, but there's something going on there where people can fly. I'm not sure what it is though yet.
You know, it's funny with hearing you say stuff like this. It's got like my wheels turning as well. And one thing I will say, the developer for Microsoft Simulator,
Storbo.
Yeah, that would be like, because they're making another iteration of Flight Simulator 2024. Like it just, to me, it mirrors what they did with Playground and Horizon. You know what I'm saying? Then after a while, all of a sudden, before you knew it, yep, you're with us now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like I can see that
relationship over time.
Yeah,
is essentially what they're doing there, and sometimes that's what it takes for these studios. That's, you know, people always kind of back in the day were making fun of Phil for being a nice guy. I'm like, yeah, do you want to work for an asshole? He has to be a nice guy to try to purchase these studios. Like, like,
do you want to work for an asshole? Because I do. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah. You get where I'm going with that? Like, you want to work with somebody that has a grander vision that you can agree on, that's easy to work with, it is reasonable on his request in order to want to be purchased by a said company. So, like, you know, and a lot of times, you know, there's people that are leaving these industries that are like older than me, and it's leaving their legacy behind. You get where I'm going with that. So sometimes, you know, as they want to pass it on, I think they're thinking a little bit bigger. Like, they want the stuff to live on for a long time. So like, you have to be, you know, a reasonable leader in that sort of stuff. So yeah, I mean, there's a reason why Phil can do all these things. There's a reason why they can't block Phil on all this sort of stuff, because he's been ridiculously reasonable on all this sort of stuff.
Yeah, he's done kind of like the fair work all the way through, like ever since he's kind of like taken over on the whole Xbox thing. So yeah, I can see that. Like, you can't argue with him, because he's been more than like generous, polite, all that good shit, man.
If Phil was the type of guy that a lot of these like core gamers wanted him to be, like, just hypothetically, this Activision deal wouldn't have gone through.
Ooh, can you say that again, Don? Please?
No, I mean,
but it's true though. You're absolutely right, man.
And so, like, now you're starting to see the bigger picture of what everything he's thinking about as far as gaming goes, right? And so, yeah, I mean, this deal wouldn't have gone through if he was the type of person that people wanted him to be. There were, you know, these core Xbox gamers that wanted to act like what's his name that left, Don Madrick and stuff like that. You know, like, it wouldn't have worked. In regards to that, so.
We got a console for you.
Yeah. Can you imagine that quote at the hearing? Like, come on, like, no one's.
It's like, I got an acquisition for you.
Exactly. So I mean, the grander vision, like, you have to be somebody that other companies want to work with. If you want a partner that be your boss, like, you want to make sure it's somebody it's going to make sense. So I mean, I think Phil's the right person for that. That leadership team is got together. They had, and they're not perfect. I think Matt Booty needs some additional help.
Yeah.
I think he's got too much of a full plate.
He
and that
definitely
plate's gonna
needs
get a
an
lot bigger.
assistant, man. He's got a lot of studios to fucking like deal with, man. Like,
I think in the next couple of years they need 2 more Matt Booties, as
Whew.
far as I'm concerned.
that's
like,
insane.
Yeah, like, because that's the volume they're looking at. Like, they got Bethesda. That was a lot more games on the plate than when Matt Booty originally signed for him. You know what I mean? And then now you got Activision on the plate. That's a rough one.
That's huge, man. That's a lot of work right there, bro. Holy shit.
And then me and Mega talked about this. Like, Activision is not just like, cool, you got some talented people and some cool IP. I mean, no, you got a freaking nightmare of culture over there.
Oh yeah.
A nightmare that's been going on for years and years and years. And I know a lot of people like want to blame everything on Robbie. Bobby Kotick?
Bobby.
Yeah, everyone blames everything on Bobby, but like, and they're not saying that like he gets a pass or anything.
Well, he
like
he
that.
let all the shit happen as well as like
He's
participated.
a small portion of
Yeah.
it. He's a small fry of the whole thing. Like, that's the thing. It's like you can put a different CEO, and that stuff is still going to happen. Like, it's a cultural thing from the ground level.
I mean, when a team acts up on a say a football field, like people do point to the coach. You know what I'm saying? Like they do point to the person in charge. Like
yeah, but the people on the football field don't last the generations like they do at a development studio. So you have generations of culture that's being passed down, several generations
Okay.
of culture. So like it's a different story altogether. Yeah, you maybe turn a blind eye to something, or maybe the people at HR, shielded him from that sort of stuff because HR companies will do that stuff.
either way, he's gonna be gone. Either way.
Yeah, as I'm saying, but the problems don't go away, is what I'm saying.
No.
And so that's the problem Matt Booty's really faced up.
Well,
against.
we saw that with like what was it? Was it Undead Labs and stuff like that? Like we've seen a few purchases where the culture within the studio was not good, and then all of a sudden people tried to point to Xbox saying that they're the ones like instilling that. It's like, well, no, they just got purchased. Like obviously that cancer was there before time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, so, and that's the thing, is I just don't know. I don't know of a company I can think of that's handled that stuff well, right? Acknowledged the problem, addressed the problem, and addressed it in a short period of time. I can't think of any in the industry that has those sort of issues.
No.
Certain companies that you don't hear about in the limelight, I still hear about those problems on a weekly basis. like this stuff doesn't go away. Like, it's embedded and it gets passed on. And like, you ever been in like where you have like, this is what you're supposed to do for your work, right? But there's that guy or girl that takes that shortcut on everything. It doesn't do doesn't do their job, right? Yeah, right. And so what happens? Everyone else picks up on those shortcuts, and they're surprised when they're forced to do their job properly.
Yeah, they don't know what to do when they have to do it right. At least in my job, anyway.
Yeah, so
but
it's like that, but with just simple kind and decency to others. That they just get full of themselves, and like I haven't heard of the problems getting any better during this whole deal, even though people are not talking about it as much in regards to that. So I just don't know. Like, that's what it's like, a legitimate concern. Like, I like Xbox, and I just don't know what their plan is on that sort of thing. Maybe it's none of my business, but
they got a lot of they paid a lot of money, but they got a huge property, right? But now they got to work to maintain it. They gotta fix all the shit that was going on within it. I mean, they got a lot of work to do, but on the business side of it, when you look at what they purchased, I mean, they're gonna do that work. You know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna put in the work to get all that shit straightened out. Yeah,
they invested so much money.
Oh yeah.
Like, so you have to kind of tackle it straight on. I just don't. I don't know if they're going to be able to pull it off. Is what I'm saying. The purchase was the easy part, as far as I'm concerned. It's the aftermath of after the purchase is the difficult part.
Well, Don, because of the industry you're in and everything like that, you're gonna be able to hear about it if it's working or not, probably before any of us, man. Like,
well, we had this conversation about Activision offline before, right? Like it was on this podcast. You, me, Mega. I think Predator was on. I don't know who else was here at the time. And you were asking me like, why would you ever do with anything with Activision? And it's because of the stuff that they have going on.
Got you. See, now that makes sense. Now that makes sense.
Yeah, and it was, I don't know, it was years before it became public knowledge, and they got sued and like stuff, but it's all hearsay. Like that's the problem with like a lot of stuff. I hear a lot of things with a lot of companies, and a lot of it's hearsay, so you just don't know until then. I give it more weight when I hear it from different sources that are connected, but they're not connected to one another. They're not talking the same circles.
Because then, that's almost, that's more of a concrete, almost verification at that point in time when different people start saying it, no connection to each other. Yeah,
exactly. So, like, in Activision just kept coming up and up and up. And there's a couple other companies that they're not in public knowledge, and I won't spill the beans because I don't know if it's true or not. Like, I don't want to be accusatory on something that I'm not aware of, but I won't be surprised if allegations come up on certain companies over the years. Next couple years, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the state of the world that we're in now. If you go out throughout history, corporations have been through it. Yeah, I was gonna say have been doing it. It's just that we have social media now. Everybody's phone has a fucking camera, and microphone, and everything like that. We get all the bits now, man. We get them all now. But let's see. Let's go to K Mega on this, man. Last but certainly not least here, dude. What's next for Xbox after ABK, bro?
I mean, I'm looking at like smaller stuff.
And I know, you are the soft stepper I was talking about. Yeah, you're the soft stepper I was talking about, dude. They're nowhere near Monopoly, bro.
No. And Ubisoft would be a dream come true for me, because it's like what Don was saying, is that it has everything else that Activision doesn't. And so then you touch on the wheelhouse of not only single player, but those live service games like The Division, and then you got Rainbow Six, and then you have, I mean, that
sporting game with the bikes and the what the hell was that? You bought that game, man.
Yeah, I know, and I can't remember the name of it right now. But all those type of games. And then of course you got like Immortal, Republic, Republic Riders. Riders Republic, that's it. But then you also got The Crew. You got another driving franchise. You have I know. I'm a little nervous about that, but then of course, then they got the Star Wars game now, and then they got so much. And then, of course, if that's the case, people could, Microsoft would definitely would tout, having Splinter Cell under their helm, and that would definitely make a comeback. But other than that, that would be crazy. But for me, I'm looking at, I would love Sega just like everybody else, but I think that the relationship with Sega and Microsoft is great, and I think it's only going to get stronger, and they don't even need to acquire them.
But again, what you were talking about with Ubisoft in terms of games and stuff like that, the dormant IP that's under Sega right now, to be able to open that all up and be like, okay, what are we doing now? I'm gonna grab that golden axe right there, Altered Beast right there.
You could get that. You have a fighter. You have another fighter under the helm with Virtual Fighter. You would have. I mean, there's tons of that.
Dude, have KI and Virtua Fighter. That's insane.
Right, and then another thing too. It would make sense for every Xbox fan out there because of Sega, because they would also get the Warhammer franchise. So because Sega owns the Warhammer franchise, so it would be insane. I would definitely want to see Sega. I mean, if anything else, but I have to try to look at this from a different perspective, and I would look at it, and they do want to get it, and they do want to reach deep into the East market. I think that they would try to pull something from Korea. There's tons of Korean publishers or studios out there that could be a mess with, and then you could look at something like Koei Tecmo that would get up under the radar, and then you would have a hold of Dead or Alive, you would have a hold of the Ninja Gaiden franchise. I mean, those things would be I think more reasonable and not to be touched. But I mean, I agree with Don too, is like, what at Ubisoft is there except for the Assassin's Creed franchise, and you would probably maybe say Rainbow Six. Is that, I mean, you think that the FTC and the CMA is going to act a fool over the dancing game? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
they're not even know what those titles are.
Right. So,
they know Just Dance. They know Just Dance.
Well, they don't know. Yeah,
all their kids and shit like that. They know Just Dance.
But yeah, like are adults now.
Yeah, pretty much. But Just Dance is still there. It's still popular. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff. And then of course, at that point, then you're looking at like Microsoft really being like crazy mascot heavy, because they would have Rayman, they would have the rabbits. They would, you know what I'm saying? What kind of the deal that they would make with Nintendo? That would be bizarre. That would be insane. But you can never say never on this thing, because nobody, if 5 years ago, if they said, hey, Xbox is going to get ZeniMax and they're going to get Activision, and I would have been like, you're crazy.
You're fucking crazy.
And there was a few people that told me there was some big stuff coming, and I was like, okay, man, whatever. And now we're here. But I mean, I'm looking at that. They definitely need to tap into that the Asian market, for sure. And so, of course, everybody's looking at Sega, but like I said, Koei Tecmo, there's plenty of studios out there east. There might, I mean, I don't know how that relationship would work with China. I mean, there's some developers out there, studios out there as well, but they definitely want to touch that market. I don't see why they would try to mess with anything else big time, Western wise. Personally, like, and that goes for Take-Two, unless Ubisoft just came to them and said, look, take it. Also, there was an article that came out today where the head of Ubisoft said, hey, the ABK deal is a great thing. This gives great opportunities. And so there you go. So that is almost kind of like the cry, like, hey, we might be up for something else. So, and you're right, Don, this is the one thing that people did not understand about Phil Spencer's demeanor. I try to tell people this. I said, the man has got a lot of dog in him. He just don't show it. Trust it. The man got a lot of dog in him, but he has to play his position. Because if you got like Sadia, you got Mikey Barra, you got all these other guys that's kind of tough talking or tough talking and kind of, are out there. He can't do that. And this was one of the reasons why Phil Spencer can get up here, can say this, can talk and have that same type of demeanor, and then get this deal done. It's another thing.
Just look at everything that he's done. Like look at something you just said a couple years ago. Like when it came to Activision, like if somebody said that Xbox was going to own Call of Duty, Activision, Blizzard, King, all that, you fucking crazy. And look where we are right now, yo.
And look where we are, right? And because of how Phil operates, and think about this as well. I know that I'm sick of it too. I don't want to keep hearing the FTC or the CMA try to flex or try to talk, like, because of what the lady from the CMA tried to talk. She was sitting in a chair being all stern about how she's like, like she's still in charge. We know better. Like I listen to the cat hearings. The judge made it clear: you work this out and do not waste the taxpayers' money by bringing this back to court. Fix it. You made the deal with Microsoft. You fix it. That was the bottom line, because he was letting them know he was going to side with Microsoft. Plain and simple. So the deal's going to go through. It's just that they're trying. Phil Spencer is so ahead of these guys that's just still trying to hold on to hope, or for the people that's still trying to be scared about the deal. Phil Spencer, this is where he getting paid. He's over here saying, look, I don't want to make a fool out of you. I didn't want to make a fool out of Linda Khan and them. I'm just trying to do the best that I can, and let's try to work together because this isn't going to be my last deal. And that's exactly what it is. And so I think he'll even go to the table again with the FTC and say, look, man, I got something for you. And let's work this out, and let's try to make this look good for all sides, all parties here. And while some people will say that looks fake, nope. That's just opening the door for the next opportunity or opportunities. And that's exactly what this is. Like what I've said for years, Phil Spencer, or just how Xbox is operating now, is that they wrap around you, they try to hold you, they say, hey, look, man, we're all good here. And while they're holding on to you, they're doing everything else around you. And the next thing you know, you're surrounded. And then you're looking like, oh shit, what did I just let happen? That's exactly what they're doing now.
The advice
it's just another form.
I've been given by a CEO of a major corporation was along this line, and I was like, I don't know, 17 at the time. He said, become a monster first, and then learn how to control it. Now you start seeing Phil out there. Is he that monster? He's learned how to control it.
Yep.
Yeah, he is. Yep. He is that guy. Like
he is that guy.
I mean, the results speak for themselves, man. Like,
exactly. So, like every move he does, he's thinking several moves ahead.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's his. I don't think a lot of people understood it at the time. Last console generation, but I think they're gonna have to grow up and learn now. Like, who and what he is.
Fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? Yeah. Like people are gonna find out, right? I feel like Phil Spencer's time, like leading this whole thing, it's not too long. I feel like he already has his successor, and like he's already preparing once like this major deal is done and kind of like smooths and kind of I feel like there's gonna be a change, maybe within this next year coming.
No, not at all.
What's her name, man? What? Why did I forget her name?
You still don't think Phil's got some fight left in him?
No, I'm not saying he. I'm not saying that he doesn't have any left in him. All right, I think that he might be like, all right, we're good.
There's still work to be done. Phil, if you say at the end of the
he
generation,
I would say that's a possibility. Whatnot, man.
Yeah, but not a year. No, because this is because he wants to fulfill, and this is something that I had this conversation with Loke and Ham Solo and them on their podcast. I said, when it goes down, Phil Spencer is probably going to be looked at. It is going to be revered as the best gaming CEO of all time when he's done. He's not done yet, because you don't take you got to go to you got to go to like a Wada and all them to be like in a situation where the gaming industry was about to fold and Nintendo saved it, right? Phil is in a position to where the Xbox division was gone. It was 2 feet out the door. It was ready just to step in, and then he changed it, and now he wants to make sure when he leaves it, it's going to be here for a minute. And then he's going to put it in good hands. If you just walk away now after the ABK deal, that's still, you're putting a lot of pressure, because it's like what Don is saying. Like, there's going to be a lot of things.
Once it's smooth, like once everything is running properly and everything, man.
But he's not done from acquiring yet. Like, he wants to make sure that Xbox is never going to be in a position of being hamstrung like by PlayStation ever again. He don't have to worry. Nobody worries about Nintendo, because Nintendo stays in their lane. But PlayStation they're tired about that.
We'll mark this episode down, man. When it comes down to it, I'm predicting there's going to be a change, like next year.
I don't see it though, man. Here's why I don't see it. Satya, he's got Satya's ear. He's got Satya's trust. You know how hard it is to navigate any company like a quarter the size of Xbox, and having like the head guy got your back on this. That's that is a tough sell.
Oh, I'm not saying
and
he's gonna retire or anything like that. I think Satya's got another position for him.
But what I'm saying is it's a win each time that he does this. It's a win, it's a win, and it's a win. So like, I think Phil is starting to, what his grand vision's obviously grown since early on, right? Like, I don't think he would ever thought, like, back then. I don't think when he started selling off all his companies back in the early days of Xbox One, he didn't think he was going to be able to buy Activision. I mean, I doubt he thought that was in the cards, right? I know he wanted to buy something bigger, different talent, that sort of thing. I mean, that was obvious, but I don't think he thought Activision was in the cards. So if they pull this off, I think Microsoft's got a dream team going on right now, and I think they're going to try to keep that party rolling as long as they can. I know Phil's long in the tooth now compared to other Xbox executives, but I think he's got a lot more left in the tank.
Oh, I'm hearing
one more in him.
I'm hearing everything you guys are saying. I'm still sticking with what I said, but I'm hearing everything you're saying. I love being different, man. You guys know that. Real quick, I gotta shout out a couple super chats that are over here. I know people are waiting patiently. Shout out to Dragonheart. We'll be hitting up that super chat, and he says an article came out last year. The CEO of Ubisoft said the team is on their own to make their next games hit, and that just again, and leave it up to Don to bring up something that I didn't even think about, and then as we're all talking about it, just how the pieces fit when it comes down to it. Like I didn't even
how close those studios are to where Microsoft's located too. Location doesn't matter.
Okay. Well, that too,
just
but
over the border there. I mean, they're just there.
Well, hearing your explanation and hearing kind of like the financials and stuff like that, and then hearing you and then K Mega afterwards and talking about the games and how they fit and stuff like that, I was just like, yeah, like I would have, if we were debating right now, I would have no argument on that one, like none whatsoever, man. Again,
because it's not about console like stuff, like console warning type things.
No,
Right.
no, yeah, I'm not even thinking about
the
that. Man.
fit.
It's what's a good business fit for them.
Yeah.
In regards to, and Ubisoft's tested the waters with the Game Pass situation and stuff like that. Like obviously, like they're not against it.
Well, they have their own,
They got their own, yeah.
so that could just be kind of like.
Dissolved right into Game
Yeah,
Pass.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right,
That's
right.
something else I was thinking too, man. That's crazy, yo.
Yeah, and think about the PC.
And they got a storefront, something that a proper storefront. I know that some people say they don't like it. I like it better than EA's or Epic's. But I think that's what Xbox needs. I know that there's Battle.net, but I've heard different things about Battle.net. I don't really deal with Battle.net except for only when if the certain games that I play through Activision that has to use that Battle.net. So yeah, you could, I mean, that everything about that makes sense. Hot damn it, Don. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to talk about that tomorrow.
That's crazy, right? Dude, we're gonna leave the show tonight.
The rumor is they're gonna buy Ubisoft next.
We're gonna leave the show today. We're not gonna be able to stop thinking about that. It's like, oh shit! Like, I already know that's the way I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be playing like basketball or something, and my mind's just gonna go back to this whole conversation, yo. Real quick, Sir X-Man did drop a couple super chats, yo. Shout out to Sir X-Man. First one, he said, Crytek for that engine. Rise, Son of Rome. Perfect. Now, bro, can you imagine what a Rise would look like now?
Oh, man, insane.
So out of date.
But yeah, and that's what I was going to say. Like, Microsoft got how many engines in now? Now? You know what I'm saying? I mean, so
the best one,
I don't think
the best one being from
id.
id.
Games, yeah.
The best one being from id, bro. I fucking love that engine, man. And what it produces. Let's be real. And there is one more super chat. Not even probably. This is the most important one. He said, "Happy birthday, Yobi! Enjoy yourself, brother." I added the brother, but yeah, it was there. It was there in feeling, man. It was there in feeling. But yeah, guys, we actually went a half hour over here. I kind of knew with the whole what's next, we would probably do that. But guys, we have come to the end of the show. Another classic, and we had the Don in here as well. Don, thank you for jumping in, man. It was a lot of fun. You know what this is, man. We're going in with the outros. All right. You are a busy man. What do you want to share with the people tonight when it comes to the Don and content?
Well, yeah, I'm going to be doing a little Mega Man retro stream tonight on the channel. So definitely check it out right after this. In regards to that,
is that from that streaming stuff? That
No.
Oh, okay.
No, no. I was going to talk about that when I do my intro.
I got to look into that. I want to see what the price is, man.
Oh, I know the prices. I'll tell you when it's my outro.
All right.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah, it's going to be on my YouTube channel. No big deal in regards to that. So definitely come check it out. I'm almost to that magical point where I'm able to do different things on YouTube, but I still have a little bit of ways to go. So those public view hours, I think, is what I ultimately need at the end of the day. So yeah, just stop by, check it out, hang out with the chat, that sort of thing. And then if you like what the content is, hit the like, and then if you want to subscribe, obviously do that. And if you want to hit notifications, well, that's up to you. If you want to hit it up every once in a while, that's great. If you want to hit it all the time, it's all appreciated. So
nice. Yeah, definitely hit that notification so this way you know when he comes with new content. Okay.
Yeah, I try to post a week in advance. So what I'm streaming, so people know in a week in advance of what's going on. So
nice, brother. And again, as usual, man, it's always good to have you on, bro. Don't be a stranger.
I couldn't leave you hanging, man. You just here with Mega. I mean, and then just
are you trying to say that we weren't giving quality content, just me and Mega?
Well, Mega could carry on his own, but
I'm about to mute your ass, bro.
But I mean, yeah.
I have that power.
I don't know if you'll be able to carry the rest of the conversation there, boss. I just had to stop by. You see how you do.
I got my finger right over it right now, man. I'm just you know what? No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna be nice.
You can't get rid of me, and then you only have 2 or 3. So...
Oh! Nah, Don.
Sorry,
thank you again, man. It was a lot of fun. The conversations might not have gone directly up, an alley strictly for you, man. But, dude, as usual, just dropping bombs, bro. Dropping bombs.
I obviously think on a different page.
I'm not gonna stop thinking about Ubisoft tonight because of you, Don. Thank you.
Well, when everyone starts talking about it, you're gonna reference this podcast, so you just gotta.
I'll be like, yo, you just
podcast this was.
The Don was there before all you guys, all right? Yeah. Before all y'all.
Yeah, yes, he's right. On YouTube, everyone wants to be first. Everyone wants to be right, and no one wants to be wrong, right? So that's.
Everybody wants to be right, and then nobody wants to admit when I'm right, except for my crew here. Like, nobody outside of here, like, they're like, no, you didn't say that. And I'm like, really? I'll pull it up for you.
Honestly, I don't think we even admit when you're
K-Meg has admitted many. When me and him agree on something, he'll say I'm right.
He'll be like, you're right, Bob, but here's the thing. That's what he'll say.
You know what? Dark, you're up next, brother. What is going on with your streaming? Okay, and what other kind words do you have to say for the moderator of this show, bro?
You guys can find me on Twitter, Knoxximus. You can also find me on Xbox and PlayStation, the same name. You guys can also find me here on YouTube at Knoxximus every Monday, Wednesday, Saturday at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. There will be no streams this week or next week or the following week because next week and following week I'm on vacation, and this week we've just been way too busy. So, sorry to anybody who's been trying to watch the Diablo.
Are you on vacation or on strike? I don't know what.
I mean,
the giggle. The giggle.
we're not on strike because we're non-union, so we don't have to deal
okay.
with the union rules.
Yeah, your ass got to get to work.
He said, "Fuck your union dues, man. That's it."
But we've had a lot of people, been coming over to our little nook and been, asking us if we can, help them with, getting some work and stuff. So
Dark was like, "Yeah, you can shine my fucking shoes, man."
No, never would do that to anybody. I care about those people way too much to,
Yeah, all his shoes are
see
canvas.
them.
So.
I would care about those people way too much to see them starve and not
Oh,
have
hell
money
yeah,
for rent and stuff. So, but yeah, man, other than that, have a good night.
Nice, bro. All right, and last but certainly not least, of course, it is K Mega. Now, Mega, I need those prices. I need the prices. All right,
sir.
And
right.
I guess we just saw the evolution of a topic for GRG. So what's going on there, bro?
Well, it was there. We was gonna have it tomorrow.
Yeah,
but,
you were. There was no you words you were
spice.
gonna say, bro. There were no you words you were gonna say. Okay.
No. That's what I'm saying. Like, no, I'm gonna give Don his props. I'm gonna say where we talked about it on. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of those snooty guys. If I hear information from somewhere or from someone, I usually call them out. Yeah, I'm not you. So, but yeah, no,
Dark,
yeah.
I would give you credit,
retro...
but you have to tell me something intelligent about gaming first. You got to do that before I give you credit, man.
Oh my God. Okay, so the stream, the game that's coming out, or it's working. It's based off the cloud. It's called Ant Stream, and it has over 1,400 retro games. It's $40 for, I think it's 40 or $50 for, I think it's $40 for the year, and it's $80 for a lifetime membership, and they keep adding games to it. It was, when you look at it, if you go to the website, it says 1,300, but it's kind of like Game Pass where they say 100, but it's actually over 1,400 games. I was watching a lot of videos of people that was playing the beta, and they were playing it from different places, from their and within their house or outside. And the cloud was working flawless. Like that was one of the things that they enjoyed. And so we're talking about games that's on the PlayStation games. I mean, it's another good twist. Like, you'll play God of War, on PlayStation 1 or anything, like on PlayStation 2 or whatever, or a Mario game, but they're old classic arcade, Sega.
I saw
Nintendo,
Mortal Kombat in there.
PlayStation,
I saw Earthworm Jim.
Arcades, Earthworm Jim. Yeah, they're going to have Neo Geo games. All of these
bonk, baby.
Yeah. I hope to see Bayou Billy in there, but I'm getting it. I'm going to buy it because that's going to be fantastic. That's going to be amazing. So if anybody's interested in it, go check it out. It just released today. I'm going to probably get it. If not this weekend, I'm getting it next weekend for sure. But yeah, check that out. GRG is back tomorrow night. Going to have a couple of guests. Callie said he wanted to come through. So that'll help Dark out, you know what I'm saying, to have another stand on. No, I'm playing. But then we'll have a new person coming on who's the first time coming on GRG. You know what I'm saying? Looking forward to that. Oh no. We keep it funky, but you know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be crazy.
Have they been in the chat before?
No.
Oh,
this is a YouTuber. This is somebody who's,
brand
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, brand new guy. So looking forward to it. Hearing his thoughts on the stuff that we're gonna talk about, and then just going to be good to be back. Fight Night will finally come back. I'm finally starting to play other games now. I played Gotham Knights last night for a couple hours, and then was playing the hell out of Exo Primal. And so and then I played some Halo. So that might perk Don's ears up there for a little bit. Play some Halo. So I'm like, okay, I can put Diablo down for a little while, even though I've been playing this whole time and now I'm like a level 19. But it's okay. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's okay. I still got the Jones for the Diablo 4 thing, but it's all good. But yeah, come and check us out, man. yeah, really do appreciate it. Fight Night, Street Fighter will definitely be on the menu. So if you're gonna watch and see me get my ass kicked because I'm way behind, but yeah, it's just gonna be good to have Fight Night Sunday back and just getting things rolling again.
Nice, brother. Definitely check out GRG tomorrow, and of course, Fight Night Sundays.
Go
over on K Mega's channel. But
yeah, I
guys,
could probably jump in with Don and play something, unless he's playing like Mega Man or something. Like I might could jump in
on Saturday. Yeah, we'll talk about what we'll play on that.
Yeah, download Exo Primal. I think you'll like it.
It's a really interesting time. Like, you know what I noticed? If you go through your friends list, I was looking through my friends list. So many people are playing so many different games right now. Like, even when it comes to me, like I'm about to beat Bramble. I started playing Fist. I definitely want to play that, beat that. And Sword in the Fairy.
Yeah, I'm glad you like
my
that game.
goodness!
I'm glad you enjoy that. I'm glad you enjoy that.
My goodness, the story is absolutely incredible. Like the combat, the combo system, love it, man. Absolutely love it, yeah. But yeah, so many people playing so many games. So shout out to you, chat guys. I hope you are all playing different games as well. Thank you so much. And as I'm now winding down, the cat is deciding he's going to screech at the top of his lungs. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Definitely do appreciate it. We are here every Thursday, 8 p.m. Of course, that is prime time. If you haven't done it yet, definitely hit that thumbs up button and subscribe as well.
Hey, before you hit that button, I forgot to shout out to the Level 1 guys. Level 1 Gaming. I was on their podcast, last Tuesday or Wednesday this week.
Nice.
Hung out with those guys for the first time. They're a lot of fun.
Fame hit you up. Good deal. Yeah,
Fame,
good guys.
Fame hit me up directly. In regards to that, it's a different type of podcast. I didn't realize they had like background music going on afterwards. Like it was like just jamming, chilling on a couch sort of thing. It was a cool vibe they got going over there. So I provided a link for those guys. Anytime someone has me on, I want to make sure to give those guys a shout out. Any potential growth is a good thing. So
nice, brother. Yo, shout out to Level 1 Gaming. And yeah, guys, on that note, we are done. Definitely tune in next week. I'm already working on topics. I'm already thinking. Of course, there's bound to be some news within that time. But guys, we already got your back. I'm already thinking about topics. But have a great night. This weekend is my son's birthday party. So it is going to be a crazy weekend. We actually have one of his friends coming in by train right now. He's going to pick him up from North Carolina, and he's going to come and hang out with us for the weekend. So everybody enjoy your weekend, and we will see you next Thursday for the next podcast. Have a great night, everybody.
The Nest.
Fred.
Ubisoft.
Stop messing with that woman with the cake, rubbing the cake on her body. Stop it.
Find Pred at your nearest Walmart.
Just to let you know, K-Mega, I'll
Smoke in the air, pure gasoline. I see the news, see what you read. Change gotta come, put that on me and watch me educate. Yeah, we been could've started, but it's never late. Do it for my kids, yeah, let's set it straight. Do it for your kids, gotta set it straight. It's time to regulate. We need change now. We need solar, we need EV in the game now. Make it changes so the earth we know can stay around. Make it change cause we had no time for playing around. Let's quit the playing around. First rule to me, let's keep it clean. Watch how we build, clean air we need. Start from the flow, sweep up the scene. We going green, work as a team. First rule to me, let's keep it